Well, we are here with the previously known as Groovy Plant Dad. Hello.
Oh my God, who's that?
Oh my God, who are they?
Derek was streaming the other day, and I was like,
What?
Yeah, literally.
How did I miss this?
It was out of the blue on a random day, and I only knew because their bot sent me a little notification.
I am so mad I didn't see.
It was unreal.
I can't believe I missed that.
And it made me. It was fascinating. It made me feel things.
Did you be like, maybe I could do one surprise? Everyone's doing Fields of Mystria right now.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a new farmer, but it's like Sailor Moon coded.
Oh,
it's
I
really
love
pretty.
that. See, that's the thing is I'm so out of the loop. I don't know anything.
That's so fair.
I'm just a stupid little girl.
Stupid little girl watching reality TV.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, so you were telling me if you want to still share what you were telling me right before.
Oh yeah, because
and then I cut you off and I was like, save it.
Yeah, save it for the pod. Because I was talking about, I've been watching, I think it's just called The Boyfriend, right? On Netflix. Mm-hmm. Japan's first gay dating show.
Hell yeah.
I'm on episode 7 of 10.
So you're loving.
I'm live laugh. Well, yeah, I'm live laugh loving. I am laughing a lot. Yeah. I'm deeply invested.
It's cute. It's really cute.
It is quite cute, and like I've never watched a dating show before. I've consumed a lot. Well, I've watched Flavor of Love.
Is that a dating show or is that scripted reality TV?
It is reality TV under the guise of a dating show. But,
sure,
but I don't think any of them are there for Flav. But it is in theory a dating show allegedly. But yeah, I watched Flavor of Love and that's it. I haven't seen anything else. So this was because I haven't watched like Love Island or any of that. That stresses me out.
It's cringy too a little bit.
But I feel like because they're so like respectful and there's not like a lot of like toxicity.
Yeah,
a little bit has been emerging though.
Sure.
But you told me you only watched one episode.
Yeah, it's like I'll try to do the TLDR. So there was a reality show that was on Netflix that was called Terrace House, and it was 3 girls, 3 guys living in a house together. They didn't know each other at all. They could be there for whatever reason, whether it was to do an art project and get a pop-up store made, to find love, whatever. So this went on for maybe 5 seasons. It was really good. I think you'd like it if you're liking Boyfriend. I think you'd like it. So in the last season, there was some producer meddling, as there always is, and it had kind of gotten to the worst place that it could be, and this one girl who was there was painted in a really bad light, had a big fight with the guy that she was seeing, blew up. The camera crew was like prodding her and really like getting in her face and recording all this. It went live. She got a ton of death threats, and she decided to take option C. And her mom sued the show, like, you are the reason why my daughter is not here anymore. Company went under. They disappeared. Same company picks up Boyfriend. Which one of the guys that's there, I was actually really surprised because he was on the original panel. They did a panel for Terrace House. And he got in trouble with their, like, IRS in Japan because he, like, tax frauded. He, like, didn't pay his taxes for, like, forever. And so the really insightful, funny one.
The guy?
Yeah. The guy.
My God.
He was
older
there.
Guy?
I love him.
Wow.
But I was really surprised to see him on there. So it's like the same type of premise. And the reason why it was like hard for me to get into it was only because I can see the same producer meddling that they did on Terrace House. Like already in episode 1 with them doing the anonymous letters and then having them go and read them while recording their reactions to not getting a letter to like introducing this 7th buff go-go dancer.
Yes.
I immediately was like, this is the same shit they did in Terrace House. They are trying to mentally berate these gay men. And it was like, I think I'll be able to move on. I just need to like process my feelings about it all. And I'm like, so you went from berating straight people to then going to gay people.
The gays are your next target.
The gays are your next target.
Coming for the gays now.
Yeah. So like that's the only reason. But I mean, every reality show is bad.
Yeah.
It just it troubled my spirit for a minute.
That's so valid.
I was fine until they introduced the go-go. I was totally fine. Because I was like, you know what? I think I can get this letter thing. It's reality TV. Maybe they've turned over a new leaf. And then they showed that go-go. And then showed the one being like, I'm so glad that it was you. And then panning to the guy who was kind of crushing on him. And then his heartbreak face. I'm like, fuck, y'all fucking knew what you were doing.
Can I spoil something?
Sure.
That happens in episode 4 or 5.
Sure.
The go-go dancer ends up leaving.
Stop.
And he knew he was going to leave the whole time. He had a job overseas.
No.
And he went on a date with one of the guys and was like, you just like really like have taught me like how to like express myself like emotionally and like this is really what I wanted was to be able to like learn how to like tell someone I have feelings for them. And so then he left and everyone was crying. It was crazy.
Seeing that, did they call it a graduation or anything?
It was just like, well, he wrote to them and then he left. It turns out when he was in his room, he'd been drawing the whole time. He drew little things of all of them. But yeah, he just like, they came back from the date and then he grabbed his suitcase and he's like, I'm leaving.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, can I spoil some Terrace House things?
Yeah, go for it.
Since we're talking about it. So in one of the seasons, there's a guy that's there and he decides that he's going to leave. He's ready to go. But he doesn't want to make a big deal about it. He just wants to leave. So he's like packing his stuff up in the middle of the night while everybody's asleep. And one person wakes up and they're like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm leaving. I'm going right now. And he's like, no, you have to wait. You have to tell everybody. And he says, no, I don't like goodbyes. I'm just going to go. And so he leaves and in the morning they all wake up and they're sobbing, crying, hysterical.
My God.
That shit happens on Terrace House too. And it's like wildly entertaining. One of my favorite moments, there was a drama thing where basically one guy spoils that someone else is into him in the house. And it causes one of the girls to get really insecure about this whole thing because she didn't really want this public. So one of the other girls at 3 a.m. comes in the room and he's totally passed out. And she like pushes on his arm and says, hey, get up. And she says, you shouldn't have done that. You should have thought about her feelings. You should have considered that there are other people in the world besides yourself. And I know you're 19, but you need to grow up. That's all. Have a good night. And then leaves. It's so good because Japanese people are so polite.
Yeah.
And they're so kind. And even in this berating, it was very like big sister berating younger brother or whatever. Because I feel like in the States that would fully be like fuck you, wake the fuck up. We're gonna fight.
Yeah.
You made my friend cry. Like it would be so dramatic, but these big heightened dramatic moments are just like so polite.
I love it.
Me too. I love it. I hope that you enjoy the rest of the season. I'm going to catch up and then we can talk about it officially. The boyfriend. I had something detracting since we're not talking about season 13. I was going to say, is there anything
else before we don't have to talk about season 13?
Yes, this is Drag Race related. So you might need to actually look this up on your own, just so you can see it and make a determination for yourself. So I was watching season 10, and our favorite season, and it was the cut to the feeling.
Why were you watching season 10?
It's free on Hulu, and I didn't want to watch any ads. I just wanted to be able to binge without ads. Okay. I know. Sorry. I finished 8 and then 9, and then 10's the last one on Hulu. So I was just like binging stuff. Cut to the feeling lip sync. Remember when Mo Hart's wig is gone? And they get on the ground to do that cartwheel, and it's a mess.
They just kind of boop boop boop.
Yes. Yeah. So Mo goes into their cartwheel, and their feet go in the air.
Yeah.
And it flashes to Carson making a cringe face, like ugh. And then it flashes back, and Vixen has come out of a spin, and I noticed maybe 2 seconds later, Vixen's back is shiny, and I pause, and it looks red and bloody. Whoa. Like it looks like there is blood pouring down her back. And at one point she like gets on the ground and like does like a body roll.
Yeah.
And gets back, and like lays sexily. And there's a mark on the ground that you can see, but it tries to ignore it really hard. And I see you pulling out your phone to look up this clip. It was the most mind-boggling thing because they don't bring it up in Untucked at all at any point in the future. They never address this. Cameras don't talk about it. And then I'm in the middle of the reunion right now, and it's this part where Mo is talking about how she went to go do her cartwheel, and she said, "Oh, there's Vixen, don't kick her." And that's the most they acknowledge. But it totally looks like maybe when her foot went up in the air, her heel sliced the hell up out of Vixen's arm. Are you watching right now?
I'm just trying to find, like, I'm just trying to
You're gagged right now, aren't you?
Did she almost kill this woman? Like,
I
what?
think Mohart may have accidentally almost killed the Vixen, or at the very least, sliced up her back. I could not believe it, Jesse.
Because sometimes, I don't know, I feel like they don't always show when they are, like, when they run into each other or something.
Yeah.
But it depends. They'll either show it if it's beneficial, like, oh my God, look at these people running into each other.
Right.
Or, like, if it's, like, a moment they don't want to show, then, like, it's probably not in their best interest.
Right. I'm pulling it up
because you got it free on Hulu.
Well, no, I didn't even. Shut up, please. Okay, so I'm trying to find the roll because it was so clunky.
The bloody roll.
So, yeah. All right. So she's on the ground right now. We're watching this in real time. Vixen does not have blood on her back. Mo's hair comes off, and she's doing something weird.
Everyone looks disgusted.
Everyone looks absolutely vile. Vixen is spinning right now and is looking fine. There's nothing visibly wrong. Then we do splits. We're voguing. Mo is bald as hell. Michelle is disgusted. Mo doesn't know any of the words.
Is that who was that?
Audrey O'Donnell.
Oh my God! Yeah, Audrey McDonald.
Audrey McDonald. That's what it is. I'm so sorry.
Poor
I'm
Audrey
so bad with the names. I don't remember anybody. We do the flip. Carson cringes, and then look at Vixen's back as soon as she turns around again. It's like coming right now. She's on the ground. She's emoting. Look, do you see that?
I see red.
Do you see the red?
I see red.
And then she's about to get on the ground again and do a little body roll, and you'll see a drip of blood, like a puddle, that'll be on the stage. Did you see that? It was really quick. It was fast.
I feel like I'm on, like, those, like, paranormal.
Yes.
Where it's like, if you see right there, you'll see a small orb appear. Slow that clip down. Did you see that?
Did you see it? Did you see the blood?
It looks like a woman walked in and then left. Did you see that? I'll need to rewatch that. But I mean, like, I feel like that has to happen. Well, because there's one I'm thinking of where someone, like, cut their legs up or something. Oh, Cynthia.
Oh, yeah, with the light bulb.
Yeah.
When Robbie broke it and Cynthia had blood all over herself,
yeah,
right?
but it's like they're not going to show, like, a queen bleeding.
No, they're so careful about that stuff.
So, yeah. I mean, like, I feel like there are so many potential injuries that could have happened that we don't know about on the show, you know?
Right.
Like, because they want to protect themselves.
Oh, sure.
And, like, the queen's like, yeah, I won't say anything. Or, like, it wasn't a big enough deal. But it's like, oh, yeah, this thing happened. I was bleeding and, like, stuff like that. Because I feel like you see, like, tweets come out from the girls about, like, oh, yeah, I did this and then I was bleeding and, like, I had to go to, like, get, like, blah, 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 like, stuff like that.
One time I was doing a lip sync, and when I got up and went back to the dressing room, I'm like, what is this hole in my knee? And I literally had this, like, circle that went through all 15 pairs of my tights. And there was, like, a burn mark on my knee pad. Like, this red thing. And I still, to this day, do not know what it was.
Not the mystery burn.
A mystery burn. Like, it was hot enough that it went through 15 pairs of tights and made a circle around my knee.
No,
and I was
hot.
Bleeding. That's hot.
Were you just like kneeling on an iron? Like,
apparently I was on the stage. I don't know what the hell it was, girl. I still don't know. All these years later. I was doing Not Getting Married Today.
Me.
That was weird for me.
Oh, I remember when you were preparing for that.
Yeah. I was listening to
Not
that
Get Married
over and over and over and over.
Yeah, so that's why I couldn't do that. That's why I couldn't do Drag Queen.
I was learning that song for weeks and just listening to it again and again, trying to get all those words in. And that's a crazy song. I would kind of love to see that on a Broadway episode.
Yeah,
of Drag Race.
That could have been a great like all winners.
Oh, could you have imagined? That would
something
have been
super
so
like
good.
intense like that would be great for something like that.
It would be. Well, is it that time? Are we getting into 13 now? Finishing this up?
Speed run
of this. So we left off at Snatch Game, and I wrote down in my notes at this point, I'm beyond over the season because it was very clear to me that they were pushing the A group and that the second group did not matter to them at all, especially after this double save that we just had. So, oh my God, second number in the Google is rigged.
I can't remember if I said that last time, but it's like you search Drag Race season 13, the auto corrections or Google suggestions are Drag Race season 13 rigged, Drag Race season 13 Denali, Drag Race season 13 Reddit, episode 11. Which episode is episode 11?
Is that Pop Goes the Drag Queen? Or is that Nice Girls Roast? Hold on,
Oh yeah, that's Pop Goes the Drag Queen. Why is that such a talked about thing?
I don't know. Maybe it was the double win. Maybe it was.
It's Simone's win, Tina's elimination. I guess we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there very, very soon. So we have Snatch Game that is coming up. We have Raven and Porkchop there as our guests. I loved them.
I love that. Because I feel like it's a bad choice to do a celebrity that's not been in the Drag Race machine.
Right.
Because you're setting them up for discomfort and weirdness.
And I feel like they never know what to say.
Yeah, just either do like the pit crew. I love when they do the pit crew because the pit crew always has good answers because most of them are funny and enjoy a little camera time.
And they'll do like something a little coy and a little sexy at the same time.
Yeah, and they'll be like man spreading under their little table.
Yeah.
Whatever. Or, the drag queens. Because there's another one where it was Raven and Jujubee. Also, there's two.
Oh, right.
When it was Raven and Juju.
And then didn't Charo win?
Oh my God, yeah. I feel like they should, bring back previous Snatch Game, like people that did good.
Could you imagine a Snatch Game with Bob and Jinx?
Oh my God,
I would
crazy. Or like have what's her name? Have like Bianca on as one of them or something, like stuff like that. Like have like sharp, funny people that like also are going to be reacting to the queens, because like getting those reactions from them is part of it. And I feel like when you have the judges that are just kind of like out of their element, it's not as fun. So
like what's his name from American Horror Story, who clearly had no idea what he was doing there.
Flop. I'm here for queens, especially Porkchop, because she deserves camera time.
We love Miss Porkchop, and plus, I mean, it's a COVID season, so it makes sense to have somebody in quarantine that can come out and just do Snatch Games, so that the celebrity guest doesn't have to be in quarantine for as long. Good ideas. Okay, so we'll recap the characters and we can discuss what our thoughts were about them.
Yeah.
We have Simone Simonier as Harriet Tubman. I thought this was a really funny choice.
Yeah, I thought this was safe high.
Yeah, I appreciated that she wasn't trying to stick too hard to just her timeline, that she even pulled in references that were modern. It sort of felt to me a little like American Horror Story ghost that's still been sticking around and kind of is aware of history, but isn't actively paying too much attention.
Yeah.
Then we have Mick as Paris Hilton.
Iconic.
Brilliant. The voice change was so good.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know that Paris does
the voice
changing,
and that her actual voice is like, dude.
I really love that.
Like, it's funny, and like I think doing that little character break was an immediate, and like also just having an immediate joke to get him.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, one more thing about Simone. Mixing up Jennifer Lawrence and Jennifer Lewis. I think about that a lot, actually.
am just so gagged about that. I won't even lie to you.
As if Harriet Tubman would know either of them, but that's so funny.
She wasn't even alive.
Yeah. You're like, what are you talking about? I'm dead. Like, anyways.
Rosea's Mary Queen of Scots.
Yeah.
Interesting choice. I thought she was funny.
Yeah, she was pretty funny. She got to use her accent.
Right.
The end.
Yeah,
I'm just like, okay, it's just because I just watched Canada.
Oh, right. It was Susan Boyle.
And also whoever Cheryl was doing. She was doing something royal.
Queen
I can't remember.
Elizabeth?
Yeah, I'm just like, because I just hate the monarchy so much.
Right.
I just like hate people doing all these different queens and shit from like different eras. I'm like, I don't care about any of these women. And
who's someone you want to see that we've never seen before that you think would be a good deep pull from somewhere?
A queen?
It could be anybody. Like a historical person that would not necessarily be the monarchy.
Oh, just historical in general.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of modern celebrities have been done to death and none of them have really been funny.
See, and I kind of am like, I guess I've been thinking a lot about that like historical part. Because I don't even know, how do you feel about historical? Because I mean, we just talked about Simone Tubman. Simone Tubman?
Simone Tubman. Yes, that's her new drag name. Simone Tubman.
I love you. I kind of say I loved you as Simone Tubman. I'm literally having a brain fart. I almost said Simona Harriet. What is wrong with me? Her name is
Harriet
just Simone.
Harriet Tubman.
I was like trying to like come up with a second name for her.
Harriet Simone. Harriet Tubman.
That.
Yeah.
That's historical, but it was funny. But it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm over it when you just pick like a random person in history and then just like attach a personality to it. Because like, a part of the original challenge was celebrity impersonation.
Right. And it's strayed from that a lot.
And like, Mix is funny because she's evoking something very true about this celebrity, but making a caricature of it.
Right.
So like, I don't know. It's kind of hard because like, if you're picking someone where you don't really have a point of reference of what they sound like, what they look like, there's no impersonation happening. Right. You're just doing improv.
I feel like maybe season 8 is the thing that ruined that because we had Kimmy Jong-un.
Oh my God, yeah.
I feel like that was really the first time where Snatch Game took a really hard left from impersonation, character impersonation, celebrity impersonation to this is now just a character study and your point is to be funny. Because in 10, we had the kids. We had Alana and Blue. And I feel like somebody did somebody dead in that one, but I'm blanking. And then we've just had random characters up until All Stars 9 where Mick is doing a dog. You know?
Yeah. So it's, and like now it's just like free for all.
Right.
You can do anyone. You can do your anxiety.
Right. I'm playing my anxiety as a character.
Yeah.
You're not good enough. So going back to your question, I'm actually okay with historical people if you're pulling interesting facts. Like Tia Coffey, I think about in UK2 as Anne Boleyn. I thought was really funny. You're making faces like you did not like it.
I don't remember it.
She made a lot of having no head jokes and her head was in her arm and she had the decapitation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but like, that's not celebrity impersonation.
Sure, it's not. Jax doing Mona Lisa was funny, but it's also not impersonation.
Yeah, like it's funny. And I'm like, I laughed at that too. Like, I'm not going to say like, I'm like, oh my God, this isn't funny. Yeah. Like when I watched it, I laughed.
I love your orthotic voice.
Thank you, London. When I watch it, like I laugh at it.
Yeah.
But I also love like, and I think that's also like the little like culture whore part of me.
Sure.
That like I love like a successful Snatch Game that's like you're making fun of like a prominent character in pop culture
that we all know.
Yeah, and like something about them is good enough to do like an entire impersonation.
Right.
I love that we're delving into politicians. Like
yes.
when Alexis did Ron DeSantis. I wish she had done adult.
I wish she had done him too.
Because like I think it's funny as fuck for drag queens to like impersonate conservative, like Republican, like senators and leaders.
Yes.
Like I'm all here for it. Especially like doing like not doing Trump, but like doing like more like not small, but because they're
not like
prominent,
grand scale,
but smaller, like more specific people in government. I think is hilarious.
We haven't gotten Sarah Palin, and that would be such a funny character to do.
Sarah Palin's so funny
because she's crazy.
Yeah,
she is actually crazy.
Even now Kamala would be a hilarious Snatch Game. I think there's enough memes about her, but it's like, so even then it's like not necessarily they're not a celebrity, but it is pop culture.
Yeah,
and I think that Snatch Game, like I want it to intersect with pop culture and like our understanding of celebrities and like and the people and like the stuff like that. So that is what I enjoy more than a made up character or historical character, because to me they're not that different unless it is something like you're saying with Tia, where it is a little more research and like their history is part of their comedy. But like a lot of times it's like Vanjie's Cleopatra, where it's like they just put a character on a whatever, and hee hee ha ha. But
laughs ensue.
All that being said, a lot of them are funnier than I could ever be. So go off.
Right. I mean, I'll never be that funny. I still think that we need Food Network people. There is a history of people from the Food Network show.
Oh my God, yeah.
That haven't been done. I still think it would be hilarious if you did like what Q did for her talent show and had your normal sized head with a puppet body and did Giada De Laurentiis.
Oh my God. With the tiny body. Huge head, tiny body. I mean, you could do Giada, you could do Ina.
Rachel Ray has such an iconic voice.
You could do, what's her name? 2 Shots of Vodka.
Sandra Lee. That's what I prepared for Snatch Game every year.
Yeah, there's just like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of, honestly, if you're going to do a dude, do Emerald. Because I feel like I'm starting to be more okay with male characters only because we're scraping the bottom of... Okay,
how
it's not even that we're scraping the bottom of the barrel for female celebrities. I feel like gays only know like 5 women.
How do they not know some of these people or not know how to make them funny?
Yeah, because like, I don't know. I want to see more people try... I don't know. I feel like it's also hard because like when you see things like when Willa tried to do Drew Barrymore, I was super here for that because it's stuff like that where it's like, that's a celebrity who has a very specific voice and this very specific thing.
Yeah.
Same season, Bosco doing Gwyneth Paltrow. Like, I'm here for these choices. Like, that's the kind of stuff I want, where it's like, it's topical, it's cultural, they're people that we all know. But neither of those were successful, so maybe I'm Boo Boo the fool.
I don't think so.
But I think maybe those experiences might scare other queens away from doing stuff like that. But like, yeah, I want to see like pick a random actress who has a funny voice.
I just don't know why you wouldn't pick someone you couldn't do their voice of.
Isn't Nicole Kidman Australian?
I believe so.
Do Nicole Kidman be like, "Oi, mate," like, you know what I mean, like.
You either have to be really nonsensical or really accurate.
Be like gorgeous Nicole Kidman. Be like, crikey, I'm so excited to be at the Snatch Game. And do like a shitty Australian accent.
To do like, even it would piss off Michelle, do a regular accent for Madonna. Like be talking normally, and then as it goes, you start talking a little more British, and then you start becoming Dick Van Dyke by the end of it. What do you mean, RuPaul? My voice has always sounded like this.
Oh my God. I love it.
And like,
honestly, I'm here for that.
Lean into that because people always joke around about how Madonna's been fake British this whole time.
Well, and at the beginning of RuPaul's like, where's your accent? Be like, accent? I don't know what you're talking about. This is just my voice.
Yeah.
And then like a little bit is like, yeah, and then like, yeah, let the accent grow.
Your voice changed there. What you mean, RuPaul? I've always sounded like this.
Yeah.
And then your bag of chips.
Your full bag of chips.
What do you think about drag queens?
The carpet. Ooh.
I don't like Ru girls.
I would do Coco Peru for Snatch Game.
Yes! Why has no one done Coco Peru?
I think Coco Peru would be a fantastic Snatch Game.
Sipping tea
she the whole time. Tea and like, yeah, I mean, just watch like every single one of her YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And I think you have enough content to supply a Snatch Game. Like, her spirit will embody you. She's one of those people where you watch her enough and like you just kind of feel her soul kind of like jingling around in your body, you know? Like her essence stays with you. So I feel like she'd be a great person to do a Snatch Game. She's so choice. Infectious.
Mm-hmm. I agree with what you said earlier. More politicians. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of really interesting male characters we haven't seen. Like, I feel like John Wayne could be interesting. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, and I like the approach of... Because the whole idea is like, if you're going to do a man, make it be drag.
Mm-hmm.
So do a man who is not drag and who probably would not want to be drag because of him being an asshole and make him drag. I like
Manny Pacquiao.
Yes.
That was a great choice for Miss Melinda.
Pick a homophobe. Pick someone shitty, but like make them the butt of the joke while also making them like limp wrist, you know, like stuff like that. I think that can be quite fun because like the whole point is also to like
take the piss out of them.
Exactly. So like why not, like it's easier to take the piss out of someone you already don't like or that is kind of like a clown anyways.
Right.
So yeah.
That does bring us to our male character of the Snatch Game, one of them, and that's Tina doing Richard Simmons.
Okay.
This was awful.
This was very bad, but this wasn't a bad choice.
No, it was such a good choice.
Also, rest in peace. He just passed away.
Yeah.
He's
the tiny legs were funny.
He's okay. No, see, I don't like anything she did. But
okay.
I think
no, stop. That's dark-sided. We're not doing that.
It's just like because wasn't that also like what Ahura did?
Oh,
for hers,
right? That
she was that gay dancer.
Next. Yes,
we're
talking UK2 next.
Yes, they line up.
Do you remember it was Evie and somebody on Dragula, I think it was maybe Louisiana, and one other random girl from another franchise did the triple titties.
Oh my God.
And then this season, and then UK2, we have the tiny floppy legs. It was like there was some bulk sale going on at some drag store. And these two people really thought, like, that's a brilliant idea. We're going to purchase it.
Some trans woman somewhere some trans performer did that, and they're like, "Oh,
you're so right." They always steal from trans women.
Some fierce woman in the club did that look, and then it was on YouTube, and then it was on Twitter, and then it was on Instagram,
and then they culturally appropriated it.
Yeah, not saying those specific people did, but I'm just saying in general, like,
that does happen a lot.
Is that kind of a thing? Like,
Sasha will lick a one and stick it on her titty, and then you'll see some gay in the club like going.
We talked about this the other day, that how everyone does they grab the hair.
Oh yeah,
pull the whiff.
Do you remember when Melinda did it?
See, but that was iconic.
It was just like crunchy, clunky hair that was all stuck together.
Melinda Verga is excluded from any negative conversation.
I was saying it was iconic.
That's mother.
We're talking about Melinda more than we're talking about season 13.
But like, I think Richard Simmons is a great choice. It's kind of like Leslie Jordan.
Oh yeah, great choice.
Someone like that, where it's like a very, very
culturally iconic.
The word I want to say.
Faggy.
Yeah, fig. Just do a fig.
Yeah, a fig.
The fig factory.
We're a fig factory up to be.
So I like the idea of Richard Simmons, but Tina as Richard Simmons is a little sleep paralysis demon.
It was not good.
Also,
like
how about her with that hair? Well, we'll get to it, but with Utica coming up, we'll circle back to that.
Speaking of bad performances, we had Candy as Patrick Starr. Not a good choice.
Candy Muse as Candy Muse, dressed up as Patrick Starr
for a Halloween event.
Yes,
because it wasn't like even a full Patrick look. It was just Candy Muse.
It was Diet Patrick, but it was full Candy. She was not trying to be Patrick.
No.
I mean, maybe she was, but she wasn't good at it.
No.
But it was safe, so what do I know?
Then we had Olivia as Tabitha Brown, who Kennedy just did.
And it's like, okay, Tabitha Brown is a funny woman. I don't know if you've ever seen her videos.
No.
I used to love her TikToks. Me and my friend, we would smoke and we would watch her videos, and they were just so funny. And she's very pure, and the way she talks is very endearing and very cute. And it's kind of like a you had to be there thing. She's one of those people where their funniness is very much you had to be there, and if you don't know who they are, well, I knew who she was and they weren't funny, but. It's like any chance of them being funny, I think, hinges on the audience already knowing who that is.
Like Shane Dawson. Sorry, I shouldn't have brought that up. I was like thinking YouTube, and that was the first thing that came out of my head. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said it. I'm so sorry.
What the fuck? Anyway, sorry.
Michelle Visage after the breakdancing. What the fuck?
What's her name? Tati.
Tati and all of that.
And you did it at my birthday party.
Okay, since you know this person, or of this person, it's not like you're close dining friends or anything like
Tati,
Aiden.
I know her well.
Yeah.
I was at that dinner talking about sucking dick and cock.
Yeah.
I was there.
Sorry. You were the one that James was telling about.
Yeah. I was the waiter.
Yeah, you were there. You were serving charcuterie boards. So,
Mom.
this Tabitha person,
Miss
is
Brown.
she, like, not really a vegan? Is she, like, a liar? Because why is it that Olivia and Kennedy both were like, oh, I'm a vegan. I love bacon grease. I'm a vegan. I love to put pork in my food. Like, is she...
I might be missing something.
Yeah.
Maybe they think it's funny to play it like, oh, she's not actually a vegan.
Sure.
Like, playing like... I feel like that's also like kind of like Snatch Game 101 nowadays is like,
Bait and
I'm going to play
switch.
this person, but they're actually this. Well, like we just
Like we saw with Nick.
DeSantis, but they're a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
That too.
But yeah, I mean, like it's always just like her TikToks are always just her making like a salad or something. She's like, yeah, you do this, do you do that? Like,
Fascinating.
if that makes you happy, you mix it up, like stuff. It's just like her being like funny, comforting. Like it's kind of like it tickles the same part of my brain as, do you know that TikTok woman? I don't know if she still makes TikToks, but a couple years ago, I used to love her TikToks where she's like, go out in nature, be outside.
This sounds familiar.
Touch the leaves, feel the aura. It was like this older blonde woman.
Okay.
But it's that same kind of thing where it's just a woman living her best life. It's kind of like an internet hug. Tabitha Brown is an internet hug. So I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's a seedy underbelly to Tabitha Brown's existence where she eats meat and is a little
slaughters lambs.
Yeah,
and
she's
stuff.
a little bacon bitch. But I don't know.
Bacon bitch.
I don't know. Maybe
that's me.
Maybe she had a meat scandal that I missed. But.
It's me. I'm the bacon bitch. I'm the meat scandal. Then we have my favorite of the evening, and that was Denalia's JVN.
Oh my god, hilarious.
Really great choice.
Totes hilarious.
What was that one line? I want him to hug me like he's going to stay there all night, but also that I could ask him where the hardware is.
Oh yeah, it's like power drills are on aisle 7.
Power drills are on aisle 7.
Her improv was crazy. She was like very unhinged improv, and I loved it. It was so funny.
It was really good. It was one of my favorites of the night. I mean, Paris was everything, but JVN was such an earnest performance that had so much comedy infused. It was really neck and neck. Yeah. I feel like it came down to the runway for this particular week with the two of them. Then we have the Golden Girl curse. Oh. And we have Elliot as Rue McClanahan.
Man.
Another bad, awful choice. So this is now the third time this has been done, right? Because Raven did a Golden Girl. Someone in UK did a Golden Girl. I think it was Crystal.
Oh yes, it was her who also did Rue.
And now Elliot.
And they also did. Crystal and Elliot were honestly pretty similar. Just like, oh man. Like,
and the Golden Girl challenge from All Stars 5. And they did the room as Golden Girls. All three of them were, and they were all in the bottom. Either Rue hates Golden Girls, or I don't know. Oh wait, who got Golden Girls for? Oh, Bendela. Bendela is the only one who's broken the curse.
Bendela's the Golden Girls winner.
She's the only one who's ever done it right. That's
crazy. Also, do you know what I was just thinking about? Because I was thinking about like beloved shows, like beloved gay shows. No one's done Megan Mullally from
Why?
Will and Grace. I mean, from many things. She's an icon. But
maybe you do the voice like this the whole time, honey. What's this? Look at
especially because like she's like, I don't know, she's in her like late 40s, but like she's done a couple characters now that present like as old women, so you could play one of those. Like her character in Dix the Musical is this like crazy old woman whose vagina keeps falling off.
That's so iconic.
She like loses her vagina.
Have you ever gotten so litty that you lost your kitty?
Lost it completely. So it's like, I don't know, I feel like, but also if you just do her circa Will and Grace and do her like
as Karen,
and like that sharp like dress and like hair and like that whole era, like that would also be iconic.
That would be so funny. Why has no one done one of Meryl's characters? Like come in as one of them,
or do Meryl Streep and do like 8 people.
Yeah,
be like have like a bunch of scripts in front of you, like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm just working on all of these roles right now.
That could be so funny.
I'm just blessed to take on all this work, and then like, and then you come on like doing all these different things, like your Mamma Mia, and you're singing your answers, and then like you're
role studying as you're
exactly.
answering. That could be so funny. We haven't gotten any like Queens of Horror, like. Why has no one done Miss Diarrhea activist Jamie Lee Curtis? You know, come in and start out. That's like
the sound you make after activity.
Like start out in like the Laurie Strode look.
Oh my god!
But then be talking about trying to run from killers while having immense diarrhea from all the yogurt you're eating.
I have this vision of your terrified Laurie Strode, and then suddenly RuPaul turns around and your short hair, middle-aged Jamie Lee Curtis smiling with Activia in her hand, like, problems? I have no problems. Now that I Activia daily, like before you're like distressed, like running from the killer, like he's after me, he's chasing me, I know he's here.
Yeah.
Like you're like paranoid, freaked out, and then suddenly you're calm, serene, Jamie Lee promoting Activia. Just a thought.
And then you rip your wig off in your Freaky Friday, Jamie Lee. And then you're back to panic and you're like, I'm so old.
I would live. Also, Elvira would be really fun.
Elvira.
She'd be hilarious. It has to be someone smart and funny, though.
Smart as fuck.
I think like someone like Lucy LaDuca would be a great Elvira.
Could you imagine?
Someone who's sharp, someone who's like sexy and funny and cute. Like, I think she'd be great.
Do someone... Who was the actress that did Morticia? You know?
Oh,
you
Angelica Houston?
Yeah, you could play something.
Because you could also be her and her witch's character.
There's so much you could do. There's so many modern girls. Why has no one done Bette Midler?
Bette Midler.
She's iconic. Harvey Fierstein needs a reprise. Kathy Najimy. What? Come on. We're like writing a new Snatch Game for this one because it's
I feel like that's what I was talking about earlier, was like some gay people only know 5 women.
But how?
For $1, name a woman. It's giving that. For $1, name a woman. I just feel like, yeah, there's so many Sally Fields. Like there's just so many like
God. Yeah.
There's just so many random people that are funny as fuck.
Yeah.
And like, anyways,
so many good things you could
do.
Who
else?
Sarah Paulson.
Sarah Paulson.
Really fun. What's her name? Jessica Lange.
Jessica Lange.
Jessica Lange. Last one is Utica, is Bob Ross.
Okay.
So the runway is fascinating.
No, I want to talk about this fucking bitch. Like, I appreciate all about being sensitive, culturally sensitive.
Sure.
As a former streamer,
sure.
As a current streamer, I think you understand the importance of navigating spaces where you're going to be interacting with anyone and everyone, and that means being inclusive, accepting, and making a comfortable space for anyone and everyone. I absolutely value that.
Yeah, it's very important.
However, this dumb bitch thinks that a squirrel afro is the answer to cultural appropriation when a white man has his little lead singer of Tennis, his little Ice Spice hair. He's got his little Ice Spice permed updo. Like, and so that's what I was talking about with Turn It and Burn It as Richard Simmons, who also is a white person with an afro.
Yeah.
That is their hair.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's one thing if you're just like putting on an afro for the fuck of it. Like that, no, don't do that. Because like Queens used to do that.
Or if you're a white person and you're going to do a black character.
Because it's like okay, it's like in earlier seasons of Drag Race when a queen would do a disco look and it's a lame jumpsuit and an afro.
Right.
Like, even if it's in ginger.
Right. Like,
it's still like, But however, if you're going to emulate a character, first of all, just pick a different character then.
Right, if you're that concerned.
But like, oh my God, it's so crazy.
Have you ever worried that you might be culturally appropriating? Try a squirrel instead.
Squirrel afro. She ate paint before, and that was when the tube was already half empty. She ate half.
She was high as fuck from all that paint.
Yeah, she was munching on that while she was making the squirrel afro because she thought it was her Go-Gurt. She thought, you ever
heard a lead paint stare?
She thought it was just her Go-Gurt she left out and it was room temp, and she was just sipping on that while she was making her squirrel afro. And she was like, "Yeah, this is it.
This is the one, Mama. Ru is gonna love this."
There's like a certain pit of hell. Well, okay, because there's like different like. Do you hear that?
Oh, that cricket?
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, there's a cricket outside.
Yeah, I don't like that. There's like different sectors of like the bottom pits of hell for Snatch Game. There's just like straight up cringe, which is like something like Kenya Michaels as Beyonce.
Oh, no. Yeah.
And like Jiggly as Snooki. That's just like straight up like cringe, like hard to watch.
Right.
Utica's is like evil.
It's another layer.
It's insidious. It's like there's like the corner of ones that are like dark-sided, like evil, boot nasty, ugly. Utica's is straight up evil. Like it's like the footage of it is cursed. Like
like Sadako.
Like you get the call after you watch it.
Right. And then your hair turns into squirrels and runs away from you.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's the legend of Utica Queen.
Like something about it's just so dark-sided.
It really is. Well, and I guess like the question is a Good Vibes character capable of being funny in Snatch Game? Because we have Tabitha Brown and we have Bob Ross, who are both Good Vibes characters. I don't know how you make those funny on first layer, but then on second layer, they're both awful improvers. So then it becomes not only just bad, but it's evil.
So I agree. It's the same idea as like Mr. Rogers or someone like that. The comedy seems to lie in the subversion of their character, but their whole thing is they exist to comfort you.
Right.
Not that sounds very possessive, but like their popularity, I think, has very much connected to their role as a comforter. They make you feel good.
Good vibes only.
Good vibes only. It's not necessarily that they make you laugh. Like
they give you the warm fuzzy
like
feelings.
People fall asleep to Bob Ross videos.
Right. It's like ASMR stuff.
And like Tabitha Brown, like she makes me laugh, but it's more like an auntie, just like, oh, she's just so funny, and like the little like quirks she has are so cute. But it's not like she's a comedian. It's just like she's just like funny and cute, and it's comforting. Like I don't know. It's more like giggle, hee hee, ha ha, make me feel warm inside than like, oh my God, that's so funny. Holy shit. Like, I don't know. So same thing with Mr. Rogers. I would imagine if anyone were to do a Mr. Rogers character for Snatch Game, their whole angle would be they would be subverting his character in some way. There'd be a twist to him. He'd be a freak, or he would be like cussing, or something. Because like he was on Epic Rap Battles of History, if you remember that series on YouTube.
Kind of, yeah.
And his whole thing, it was funny because he cussed at the end because it's like, it's Mr. Rogers, whatever. But it's like, that's the whole thing. And like any character like that, their only comedy would be in their subversion. But if they exist as someone to comfort you, then it kind of is a hard tension there.
Right.
Because you're losing your safety with them by disregarding their comforting parts of their character. But then if what you're replacing it with isn't funny,
that's really deep and insightful.
I was about to say, I'm rambling. I need to...
No, that was really analytical.
Because that's the problem with Utica for me, is like you're taking a comfort character, making them not comforting, but what you're replacing the comfort with is neither funny nor interesting.
You're going on the polar opposite of making it uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You are actively choosing violence.
Yeah.
Rather than the comfort of who Bob Ross is.
Yeah. And it's different than doing a celebrity impersonation where it's like you can find funny in like their little nuances, maybe their voice, how they say things, their accent, their little like mannerisms they have. But what that was,
whatever that was that we saw,
that over there,
Get that Utica off the TV. I am not watching that. Can I introduce a dark-sided character thought that I just had that could potentially be evil and unfunny?
A dark res character.
Yeah, a dark res character. The ASMR pickle lady. And the whole time, you have a mic in front of you, a non-functional mic, and you are crunching
Her
pickles.
name is Sweet something, isn't it?
I don't know, but she's the one with the really long.
Isn't it Sweet Brown?
Straight. No, I think.
Oh no, ain't nobody got
time for that. That's a different person.
What is her cover name?
I don't know. All I know is ASMR
something that
pickle
makes
lady.
me feel warm inside.
Yeah, she could literally just be crunching on pickles and answering foul, dirty responses.
Oh no, it's ASMR the Chew.
ASMR the Chew.
It's like it's a radio station.
Yeah.
She's a queen.
She is crunching on those
also
pickles.
the little redheaded girl.
Which one? Oh my god!
I don't have a can to.
You have your.
Yeah, the honeycomb girl. I'll take that.
Okay, another list of characters. Nickelodeon stars. I know you didn't really watch them, but like Lori Beth Denberg in all that. Have you seen any of her things?
Oh, she's hilarious.
She's so funny. Like play that character, like her librarian character, where you're like you're pretending you're in the library. You're trying to be really quiet, but then all of a sudden, quiet, this is a library. Why are you yelling questions at me? We're supposed to be quiet. Pull out a bell. Bing, this is a library. And just like cause a scene.
Also, I mean, Amanda
Bynes would be so funny. She's got a bazillion characters.
I mean, even if you just did Amanda show era Amanda, that's kind of hilarious.
Yes. Yeah.
A grown man being like 12-year-old Amanda Bynes in the Amanda show.
Yes. It could be so funny. There's so much you could pull from, and we've basically rewritten this Snatch Game because we didn't want to talk about this. Good. It was really bad.
Denali was hilarious. Gottmik was hilarious. Who was the other person at the top of that?
Simone was fine.
Simone was funny. Rose was funny.
Rose was very funny.
And everyone else was like or bad.
Yeah,
either or bad.
The runway category is fascinating fascinators.
Wait, it is?
Yes. I wrote that down unless I watched two different episodes and squeezed
Wait, is this
them
not
together.
the episode that Tina goes home? Sorry.
Isn't it? No, she doesn't. This is the one where Elliot goes home.
Oh my god.
You're getting
this is the first time that Elliot lip syncs.
No, this is the last time. It's the first time Utica lip syncs.
Or sorry, the first time Utica lip syncs. Sorry, my brain. This is the first time Utica lip syncs.
It's because this season is
I thought we were already at the My Humps lip sync. Jesus
no, not yet.
Christ.
You're thinking about Utica being in the bottom and you're already getting ready for her to go
Yeah,
home.
because I was like, what time was Utica on the bottom when she sent Tina home? Yes. Oh my god, this Fascinator episode.
Do we want to talk about these looks or do you want to just talk about some standouts?
Let's talk about standouts. Did you have any standouts?
Yeah, the one for me is Utica's and Simone's. I mean, Simone's being this really powerful, beautiful look at making people uncomfortable. I think as I get older, I appreciate politics and political statements that much more.
Yeah.
And having this beautiful white look, thinking that maybe it's going to be something religious because it looked kind of popey from the front, and then turning around and having the bullet hole and then doing the hands up with everybody's names on it.
Yes.
It was really beautiful. Do you remember when I think it was Kimora Amor maybe did that look, the slavery look?
Yes, I do.
And it was just silence on the runway.
Yeah.
I fuck with that shit. I love these moments where these queens come out. They're not afraid to talk about something that is pointed, that is important, that is political. And the whole show is quiet. And they're like, this is bigger than us. Pay some respect.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
So like that I really loved. And then just on a camp drag level, Utica's picnic basket with the ants coming up the leg. Brilliant.
It was very cute and it really accentuated her proportions. It was great for her to perform in.
Yeah.
I agree with everyone you said. The only other person I'll shout out is I like Denali's roller skate performance.
Oh yeah, it was
with
cute.
The little like coffee pouring fascinator. It was cute.
Didn't feel like a fascinator to me though. It felt like a prop.
Yeah. Very well, okay, some of these hats are very much props, but
yeah.
Well, okay, I said hats. Some of them aren't even fascinators. They're hats.
Right.
We have to talk about the most iconic look of the bunch, which is
The racist.
Elliot with 2Ks, flamingo look with the nude delusion.
It does not look like a flamingo at all.
It's such a crazy look. I think about it often. But that's all we have to talk about.
Yeah. So we have a lip sync scenario where, in my opinion, I think it should have been a 5-way lip sync.
Oh, shoot.
It should have been Tina, Olivia, Utica, Candy, and Elliot all in the bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
They're all bottoms.
It's so hard because Utica and Olivia were kind of having friction in the workroom, deciding whose workroom was better and whose workroom was better.
Oh.
My workroom's cuntier than yours. Whose Snatch Game was better while they were in the workroom. And someone said, like, y'all were both bad.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see them both in the bottom because, like, I kind of want an equalizer of, like, you both were bad. Like,
Right.
get it. Stop thinking you just because you had one more laugh than the other that you're better than them. Like,
They were so worried about losing Olivia, I think.
okay, and
She would've
that's the
gotten
other
eaten
thing
up.
is we're seeing this weird stretch of like Olivia's not getting a good edit anymore.
No.
We're not being made to like her like we used to love her at the beginning because I loved Olivia at the beginning.
Me too.
And I can appreciate Olivia now,
Sure.
just like outside of the tension of the season while it's not airing anymore and there are no stakes watching it. I can appreciate her. I especially can appreciate her now because she's a goddess, queen of face.
Yeah, beautiful.
And like I'm so excited to see her potentially be back for a future All Stars.
Yeah,
per
for
our
10.
discussion last episode. I'm very excited for her because I think that she is a star.
Yeah.
But we're in this weird stretch where she's getting a bad edit where we're not really made to like her. She's coming across as kind of annoying and kind of grating.
Right.
And it's like she's kind of like either fake or like rude a little bit in the workroom, but she's super like, and like really nice.
I'm so
like,
glad to be here.
yeah. So
Her
it's like,
and Utica were doing that apparently.
which is funny that they're kind of fighting each other because it's like maybe y'all don't like the same thing about each other, but that's another.
You're seeing that other person's fakeness, and you're not
because it's
responding
easier
to
to
that.
clock in someone else,
Yeah.
because you know it so well.
Exactly. You're familiar with that look in the mirror.
But yeah, there are a lot of people that could have been punished tonight. I thought Tina Burner was in the bottom, but
Yeah, it should have been a 5-way.
But yeah, I do remember Elliot did quite bad. And also Elliot lost steam. That's the other
Yeah.
thing is like Elliot really lost steam. So it felt like it was her time. And it's kind of fun because you don't really know. Like you thought maybe Utica's going to be this uncoordinated giraffe that's not knowing how to lip sync.
Especially after the first lip sync we saw of Rumors where her wig was toppling over and
which
she was a
wasn't
mess.
good. Yeah, this really felt like her first lip sync because Rumors like really doesn't speak to. I think it's also the song, but like she really turns out her other two lip syncs.
Yeah.
In like her own way, which I really appreciate. And I don't think you see it coming. So like you see her and you see Ellie and you kind of think maybe Utica's cooked.
Yeah.
So it's really fun to see her rise to the challenge, do a really unexpected, fun, kooky performance and slay. I really like it. Even though it's like it's a whatever lip sync. I mean it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I like
but,
that it's fascinated. I like when something
fascinated
about
with fascinators.
Yeah, I love when the song has something to do with the runway or the challenge or something, like when we got the Prince song for the Color Purple runway. I really enjoyed that. I love things like that.
Love a tie-in. Because you're already dressed for the occasion.
Exactly. But I agreed. I thought that Utica was out. I was like, Elliot knows how to burn down a runway with lip sync. Utica's gone, and I loved Utica.
And she turned the party.
She turned the party. And so
fun.
Elliot is out, so we no longer have to root for her anymore because...
We no longer have to root for the racist.
And we move into Freaky Friday Queens. So, I mean, I'm going to be so real. I don't have a ton to say about this because I'm pretty disappointed at the actual manslaughter that happened on television that was not punished with what happened to Rosé's face by Tina Burner. But what I do want to talk about specifically is, unless you have any thoughts about this that we can get into in a minute.
I'll share a story to fill time.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to talk about the episode anymore.
Yeah, I wanted to ask your thoughts about this as a makeover challenge because we're in lockdown, so they can't bring in people from the outside world. That would be so much work to quarantine them for 2 weeks for a one-off appearance, 2 days appearance.
Yes.
And they're not, that's just a mess. You can't necessarily bring everyone back because we have an uneven number of girls.
Yes.
There's 13. You could do crew again, but they're probably short-staffed. So do you like this idea of a top 8 duo situation, or would you have rather them just scrap the makeover completely?
I say bring back the eliminated women is my first choice.
Right.
Eliminated queens is always the most fun because I love the 7 and 11 lip syncs. Lip sync. What is my brain today? I need to stop drinking while we record these. The last couple episodes I've been making background for our viewers. The last couple episodes I've been making a gin and tonic before this because I think it loosens my lips a little bit.
Yeah. You're wonderful.
But also it breaks my brain.
When we're doing math.
This is math.
Yeah. Honey, this is math.
Honey, this is math, baby. I feel like first choice, eliminated queens.
Yes.
Second choice, crew. Third choice, pit crew.
Oh my god.
Because they did the dancers.
Yeah.
So do the pit crew because we already know them, most of them. Like, I'd love to see someone put Bryce in drag.
Could be a fun top 5 situation.
Yeah, that would be a great all-stars actually, because like I feel like that's kind of like a veteran's right.
Yeah.
To put like some of those pit crew boys in drag.
I agree.
But yeah, I think the problem with this is the judging was just so off because I think it's hard to like
makeovers.
The person you're looking at, like you're looking at an ugly person, you want to judge that sounds terrible.
No, it's true.
You see someone, they look bad, and your reaction is it's their fault, but wait, no, it's this person's fault. So it's just so confusing and
they weren't supposed to help. That's the other thing too. Like Rosé couldn't do anything to her face. That was all Tina. She couldn't do anything about her drag.
That's all
Tina. So if Tina looks bad, it's Rosé's fault. So like you're saying, it's hard to judge this because I'm seeing you and you look ugly and busted, but it's not your fault. It's her fault.
It's all her fault.
It's all her fault. To put this sucks. So I don't like this challenge at all.
The only thing I like about it is something like what happened with, the winners, Utica and Simone, is the idea of pair 2 queens who are very different than each other. And it encourages both of them to really step into drag that is beyond their own. That was really and it's different than when you bring an eliminated queen back to do that because there's no stakes for the eliminated girl to reinvent herself because she's already gone.
Yeah.
But to see someone like Utica go high fashion, I mean, Simone doing the edgy thing was like fun, whatever, but I think the more impressive feat was the high fashion model Utica.
Yes.
Because that was something that she was unable to do, what in theory might have cost her the win in the ball is the presentation, the selling it, the cunt.
Yeah.
Like she really served that in this challenge.
She had cunt.
And like when you're still in the competition, that is a great potential like momentum pivotal part for you.
Right.
So I do like the idea of that. But
and
we
there was
only
the
got that with
conversation about Simone and her discussing appropriation and what that looks like and being invited into spaces to participate in things and celebrating rather than cosplaying. There were some really cool conversations there.
And probably one that Utica needed to hear after her Snatch Game. But
absolutely. I do think that because we do talk about production a lot. Remember they go and they see that psychic at the beginning of the episode.
Oh my God.
And the psychic allegedly is the one who pairs them together and says who she thinks is more opposite needs to learn something from each other. Probe me your brain about these moments where they pair 2 people who are opposites of each other and need to learn something from the other person. Is that a cop-out? Or is it producer drama and they're trying to create something? What are your thoughts? It feels like a cop-out to me.
I struggle because like it feels like, it's just like putting a woman to what they did in season 3 when they were picking out wigs through a wall.
Oh, right,
and then
right.
Suddenly it was like, you're the most cosmically connected. And this is like, you're like,
Yeah.
And like, I mean, psychics, that's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
But like, it was very clearly something.
Production was doing stuff.
I mean, the what are their names? The Rose Nolly conversation being brought up, and then cutting to Olivia going, "She's amazing."
Right.
Like it just felt like you were trying to sell to me that she is the one, or it's like, okay. But also they were selling because she had a WoW Present show at the time where it was called like Reading Queens or something.
I remember this. In season 4 they did the opposites attract thing, and I feel like they did it in one other season. Oh, they did it with the political campaigns.
Well, season 4 they took a test.
Right. Allegedly.
Okay, but
it was
also
just
like those pairings were paired for the reason they were paired.
Right. It was to get Jeremy and Redacted together, and then everyone else fell through the cracks because they were the only ones they cared about. And then in season 8, they really wanted Bob and Derek together, and then everyone else fell through the cracks. And I think honestly, Chi-Chi and Thorgy, maybe they were wanting them together. This time, to me, I can't tell who they wanted. For me, Quirky Me, I can't tell who they wanted together. Like what storyline they were doing that they abandoned last second. That just never panned out.
I think the only pairing they really cared about was Tina and Rose, because they had their little New York rivalry.
Oh.
That's the only one that really clicked for me, because like Gottmik and Candy, that's just like friends.
That was such an early storyline that when Rose was like, Tina's here. And then they never talked beyond that. And except like Tina making one off comment.
Every once in a while. Well, it was kind of like the unseen storyline with Jackie and Redacted Pie. And it's also, we got a little bit with like Thorgy and Bob with Acid, where it's they have their perspective like, oh, well, in New York, they're this and that, and they're this and that, you know?
Yeah.
It's that kind of tea where, I don't know. They're both kind of just like talking about each other, sharing their perspective about each other.
Right.
I don't know. I think Tina and Rose were the only like duo that really felt like it had storyline stakes. Utica and Simone were like the best for the challenge of like really bringing the other like out of their shell and like challenging them in a different way. But yeah,
You had a story.
I had a story because I don't have much other thought. Okay, like I said, I love Simone and Utica.
Yeah.
I think theirs is fierce. And this isn't part of the story, but I do think a lot about Olivia's walk this episode.
Oh.
She's trying to ice skate while she walks. So she like gets up and she's like,
the wobbling.
She's like doing like when you ice skate and you like, or you roller skate and you like kind of like swing your arm. Yeah, the swish of your arms like left and right, because it's different than jogging, but you're kind of like, you have kind of like karate chop arms, but they're like swishing left and right as you move. She was doing that in heels like while walking down the runway, and I think about that a lot. But here's my story, here's my truth.
Yeah.
It's my truth, and my truth is good
truth
enough. My truth is good enough for me. So in 2021, I moved. I left the Golden State of California and I went to Seattle. And it was a rainy morning in March. It
feels like slam poetry.
Yeah, it was around like 8 a.m. I hugged my parents and said goodbye to them and cried, and then drove like 8 hours through California, and then we made it to our first stop on the edge of California before we, did our second day of driving. Drag Race came out that day.
Oh.
I was like in such a weird headspace that day. I was going to what I thought would be like a better thing, a good thing for me, which ended up being a whatever thing for me. But anyways, I was in a weird headspace. I just moved. Like I just left my home.
Right.
And I was going to another state, and we made it to our first stop, and it was a little Airbnb. And we watched this episode. After a long day of driving, after just so much, like really so much, we get pizza delivered.
And this was the episode that premiered after having a heart-wrenching day.
A heart-wrenching, exhausting day.
To watch your favorite go home, because I know we both love Denali.
We love Denali. To watch her get sent home to a Christian gospel song.
that we had already done in season one.
Season 1.
Is this the first time we've reused a lip sync in the franchise? Is this the progenitor of it?
Oh, is it? Because of all songs. Oh, no. This same season, When I Grow Up.
That's right. At the beginning, this was the season that started. We're going to keep renewing our licenses we already paid for.
It's hard because, like, I'm not going to deny it. Praise Him is such a good song.
It is a good song.
Take the shackles off my feet so I can dance. There's an episode of Abbott Elementary where Barbara, what's her face's character?
Barbara, please.
Barbara. Oh, she was a guest judge on season 6. I can't remember her name, but the Dream Girl.
Oh, yes.
Queen.
Put a cork in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Her character, she wants to be the lead of her choir
Fun.
for church, and she wants to sing Shackles.
How fun.
By Mary Mary. And that was like the fact that I knew the song. I was like, oh my God, wait, I know this song. It was so funny, but it's kind of weird. I feel like RuPaul probably loves this song.
I remember in season 1, I think it was it Angina that had to do this?
This was Chanel and Rebecca Glasscock
was
for
it?
The ball.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I remember Ru mentioned that she loved this song. Yeah.
I think this song has a lot of presence and a lot of hold in the Black community, which I absolutely respect.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things where it's like the meaning kind of transcends the song and its like relevance, because like it is weird that it's all these drag queens singing about God, like singing like a Christian gospel song. I feel some type of way about that, but at the same time, I think like it's one of those songs where I think the enjoyment and like the actual meaning like kind of transcends like. It's not really about that anymore. Like I don't think they're actually praising God out there, but I don't know.
I get what you mean.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of weird. I definitely felt some type of way about it back then when I watched it. I was like, I can't believe Denali's being eliminated to a song about God right now. I was pissed. Now I love the song, so it's like whatever. But
yeah,
it was weird for me at the time. It's definitely.
I just hated that song back in 2021.
For real. Well. That's not on that, is it?
Yeah, and Tina and Rosé should have been in the bottom. I'm still mad about it.
It's crazy. Like, Rosé did mid. She did what she always does. I feel like that was still bottom worthy.
And it didn't look good.
If you're not going to split them up, like, come on.
Right. And I think about Rosé's face. That horrid... It looked like a deer that's about to get hit by a semi-truck.
The picture of her, like, in the mirror getting touched up.
Yeah. And they should have just... immediately wiped it all off and had her go out with her regular face.
Cursed.
Yeah. So then our favorite goes home, Denali. We stand, we love, we sad, we cry forever.
We love you, girl.
And we move into episode 11.
Isn't she also rumored for All Stars 10?
Denali is.
Oh, so that's interesting because she's with the girl who sent her home, and like
drama.
That makeover was kind of a huge like point of contention of like it kind of pushed Denali over the edge a little bit. It made Olivia look bad. I didn't even think about that when they were both cast.
Yeah, they're there for the drama for sure together.
That's interesting. Okay.
Isn't it?
Proceed.
You know, I actually missed something that I thought was interesting. Mick had a conversation. Mick had a conversation about being femme and trans male, and how at the beginning of his transition, he felt like he had to really be super masculine.
I love this conversation.
It was a beautiful
one.
That
this was this episode.
Yeah.
That's a really important conversation to have, I think, because that's a stigma that I think still exists in the trans community and the gay community. Well, and I think the problem is it's really us gays enforcing it, because I think they're attractive. Like, okay, how do I say this? Like, I think that a lot of like the shitty like cis white gay community's acceptance of trans men is kind of hinged on how buff and mask and dudish they are.
Absolutely.
It's almost the like, it's very much mirroring the straight community's acceptance of trans people, which is, oh my God, I would have no idea that you were trans, which is kind of like a
backhanded compliment.
Well, what's the name of those things where it's like it's a little tiny hot dog wrapped in a croissant?
Oh, pig in a blanket?
It's a pig in a blanket of transphobia.
Sure.
Of like, yeah, my acceptance of you is because I didn't realize you were trans, or you don't look trans to me, which is like really problematic. But that's also how a lot of the cis white gay community accepts trans men, is like, oh, well, if you're a dude, if you're trade, if you're buff, if you're like brawny, whatever,
yeah,
like that's good enough for me. But it's like,
well, and controversial. Well, maybe it's not controversial. Maybe it's just a hot take. It's a lot of femphobia that exists because there's like the mask no femme white gays who don't want any guy, male presenting person that even has slightly long hair, maybe wears makeup, it's just like wears nails or whatever. It is the same toxic masculinity that the straight community has about women.
Oh,
because toxic men want these women to be really hyper femme, really girly, really frilly. Yeah. But if they're even slightly masculine or are into sports or quote unquote boy things, they don't want to have anything to do with them. It's the same token, just flipped around on the other side.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why these dudes, because I'm not even going to call them men, these dudes come out, go through this whole traumatic process of coming out and finding their chosen family, only to then perpetuate the same bullshit that they had to deal with while coming out.
Reject and police their own community.
Exactly.
It's absurd. Yeah, but
this was a brilliant conversation.
I think that's like a big, I'm so glad that Mick brought it up.
Right.
It's really important to bring up because that's still a huge prevalent problem in our community. And I mean, like, I think we resist the femboys of all walks of life, like cis and trans, like we still are not accepting of them. And I think it intersects with transphobia as well, of like these more like non-masculine trans men. I feel like these people are just straight up rejecting their identity.
Right.
And viewing them as women. And then what you're talking about, where it's like, well, you're not being feminine enough, it's like because they're not even seeing them as men, like they still have such a backwards, like it's still like, I feel like the white gays are very much paralleling the straights, unfortunately. And like I think our acceptance of the trans community is one of the things we're like the most behind in. And I think it's easier for the white gays to accept trans women because they celebrate femininity so much when it's not,
when it's convenient for them.
When it's not intersecting with their sexuality or their attractiveness or their competitive, like, pining for men.
Right.
They can celebrate femininity in that regard, and they can love trans women because, I love that. But, like, it's so hard. I think that we're really behind in our acceptance of trans men. Not that we're great with our acceptance of trans women either. We're still behind.
We're really behind.
I think trans men really, especially, there's so much difficulty in having to navigate toxic manulinity. Oh, the manulinity. I can't handle it. It's so toxic.
It's so toxic.
But yeah, all that being said, Gottmik was really truing, and I love like Gottmik, and I love their just like their vibe and their energy, and I love like their sense of humor and how they are and how comfortable they are, and I think that's super attractive. Like I think Gottmik is so cute for that, because I think also personality is such a huge part in your attractiveness, and a guy like Gottmik being so comfortable in their personality, being so funny, being so like,
oh my god, just kiss already.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so into Gottmik right now. But like them being so charismatic and so forward with like who they are naturally, like I think that is attractive more than like trying to put on a masculine front or something because you feel like you have to.
I fully agree. So moving into the next episode is Pop Goes the Queen, and what I have to say about this, it's a branding challenge, which I fuck with the branding challenge.
Yeah.
But much like the water challenge from UK, filtering that through a beverage or through a medium does not work for me to brand yourself as a performer.
And they had when's UK 1? Is UK 1 after
UK 1?
Or sorry. Down Under 1, is that after UK 2?
I believe that is right after UK 2.
Because they also do a beverage branding challenge.
What's
Spoilers.
their beverage?
I can't remember if it's water or soda. I just remember one of the girls does piss.
Okay, so it's a beverage of some kind.
But it's a beverage.
Maybe it's something you can drink.
It's
doesn't matter what it is.
It's a drinkable beverage. Water is not a beverage. Did you know that?
Well, water's your body water is like 80% of your genetic
Body
makeup.
mama.
Body baba.
Water is body.
Yes. So like for me, this challenge is not interesting at all to me because you cannot brand yourself through a drink. And even all of these things were not interesting to me.
Can I pivot?
Yeah.
Celebrity alcohol. How many so many celebrities release their own alcohol? Are you aware of this?
Oh, yes.
It's like do your own liquor. Like, I feel like that's better than like a soda or something, because every celebrity has like a tequila, a vodka.
Oh wait, that could be really fun.
And
like you're in a nightclub,
or like Vanderpump Rosé. Like some people have their own wine.
That could be such a fun challenge where you're in a nightclub and you're creating a drink.
You're trying to sell signature with your signature liquor.
Yeah, your signature mixer.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be anything crazy like it's going to make you want to dance.
Yeah.
Because this drink is not going to make you do that. It's going to evoke the parts of you like rosé could literally do. Some type of sparkling rosé.
Okay. Yes, this is it. Your celebrity liquor, and then you give a little cocktail recipe.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is the liquor. It's like essence of me, and then I add this with cherry, blah, 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 and I make this. So you get, 1, the branding of your liquor. 2, you get to make a joke with whatever your cocktail is from the liquor. But that makes sense to me because like every celebrity under the moon like randomly makes alcohol and releases it, whether it be like bourbon, tequila, etc. So I feel like that makes more sense and is also more relevant to drag queens because it's alcohol. And I feel like it's easier for them to talk about and sell alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a big part of the job.
A soda or water like they did in UK1. I feel like water was such a bad one.
Such a bad choice. Well, and a lot of them went in the, like, this beverage is going to make you fly. It's going to make you want to dance. It'll knock you out.
It kind of reminds me of, like, a lot of commercials that probably these people watched when they were kids.
Like 3 a.m. infomercials.
I was going to say, this was like your Reese's Puffs commercial or something. Like, I don't know.
Do we want to talk about the runway?
I was going to say, most of the commercials are forgettable, but I actually do live for Rosé's commercial.
It was really the best
so
one.
funny. And there's like this random still where she's on the beach and she's like underneath, she's like shimmies and then goes, ah.
Yes.
She like bobs her head back and opens her mouth. It's so funny to me.
I love that she wore the Jan robe, solidifying herself as Pink Jan.
Yes. What a queen. Also, like, this really was a mother off between her and Simone because Simone also did so good. And I forget that Simone doesn't win this challenge until I see Rosé.
Is your blood sugar low?
Because hers is amazing and honestly maybe more memorable because I don't really remember what Rosé's is selling. I just remember that like gif of her. But like Simone's, I remember that commercial. Yeah. Hers is good. But yeah, let's get into the looks because I like this runway actually.
Yeah. So we have Beast Couture.
Beast
is the concept. I like this idea a lot for doing something kind of monstrous, but I feel like everyone kind of missed it. You're looking at Candice and flailing
Candice
everywhere.
Alien Judy.
It's so bad.
It's my
with
favorite.
The muff.
It's my favorite.
It's really awful. I really like Mix a lot, but I've mentioned many times before, and I will continue to say it again, I do not like nipples on the runway.
Nipples, yeah. And it's like, it's hard because it's like, oh, well, it's a trans man's nipples, which I'm here for because we should be seeing that.
Sure.
And I like that, but I want to be like staunch on like, no nipples. you know?
I mean, I just don't like nipples on the runway. It feels lazy to me.
It feels, well, it's hard because like, I feel like it's different for Mick, but like, I don't like it.
Right.
Because it, the
look is so good.
Isn't it hard?
The teeth and in the eyes, it really could have been that a lot of that could have been closed. I understand the nipples are supposed to be the nose holes.
Oh.
I think that's what that's supposed to be. And on that end, I hate it less than I hate other times where nipples have been on the runway, but I don't like them. I mean, I wish that there had been like a long titty tassel or something that had gone over that maybe had nose hair coming out of it or something.
It was the nose.
That's supposed to be the nose holes.
Wow, I kind of was like reading into it too much and like kind of ascribing meaning to it. I thought they had their titties out because it was like trans man's like nipples are like a beast or an abomination to like society, to like straight society.
Oh, you're like thinking really far into it.
But I don't know,
maybe
because like if that's the commentary, like I think that's fun. But I don't.
But I mean, they're rhinestones. There's all of this stuff around it. So the only logical explanation to me is those are the nose holes.
Okay,
they're
so
long.
I think I'm just making this up.
Potentially.
Okay.
I think Olivia looks really awful too.
Olivia looks like yesified Sully, and I hate it. Candy's is my favorite. It's iconic. It's so bad.
I don't want to talk to you about
green latex jumpsuit with furry muff, titties, and vajayjay, and then a little
boyfriend,
and then her alien Judy. There's a YouTube channel that's literally just called Candy's Alien Judy.
No,
and so that's I always think about that. This is her alien Judy.
I'm looking at it and I wish I wasn't.
It's awful. It's one of the worst looks of the entire season, and I think it should have been punished more harshly, but it's iconic, so she's fierce for it.
It's like Lala's back dress.
Yes.
So bad it's iconic. What do you think about Rosé's look? Because this doesn't say beast to me. This says demon. And while demons are kind of beastly, this does not. This looks like a creature from hell.
I see what you mean. It's a little more like yesified demon.
Yeah.
Well, it's very much like what...
If him... was in drag
when Trinity did Satan for Snatch Game.
Yes,
it's very that where it's like it's kind of like him in Powerpuff Girls, how he's very much like a I've used the word yesified like 5 times in the last 10 minutes. But it's very much that where it's like a yesified demon devil character, which like is fun, but also like I don't know. I want monster. I want like oogly boogly like creature under the bed. Like I want what Gottmik is doing. Like I want more of that because I think it's also like it can kind of delve into a little bit of Club Kid. Like you can get like freaky and like super fun and like outlandish with it, which is what I wanted to see more of.
I love that Simone appealed to the furry community.
Oh my god, Simone did straight up furry porn,
which is also not beast to me.
It's not. It's an animal.
It's fun, but it wasn't what
it was funny,
expecting.
But it was a beast. What do you think about
Five Nights at Freddy's?
It is a little Five Nights. It's
FNAF.
It's Sally goes to FNAF.
Sally from
Nightmare Before Christmas goes to FNAF.
I think that this was a mistake having Tina Burner on this season.
Wow. That's very Bob saying if this season doesn't get an Emmy, it's Ginger's fault. But yeah, I mean, this was like a really great swan song for her.
This was a really great indication why she should have gone home last week.
Okay. A la me being frustrated about how Evie really like flubbed for the Halloween ball. Utica flubbing like this for her beast look. I mean, it's not that it's bad.
Why is it so glamorous old Hollywood?
When you are Utica, like queen with the giant galaxy brain of designing, I want to see your craziest beast.
Yeah.
Because like she could create something crazy.
Yeah.
She's so like wild and she's so creative and she has the ability to actually like articulate it in physical form. Why not do this crazy giant monster from like your imagination? Why
that would have been
this?
so cool to see.
It was just frustrating.
Florence and the Machine in the commercial.
The dog days are over, girl.
Am I citing the right celebrity? I sometimes miss them.
No, Mama, that is all we need is the Machine.
Sometimes I mess up references, so I always have to confirm.
She is Florence. Good God.
I'm so glad that I got that.
That was slay.
That was slay. Yeah, I agree. I think the runway is really low key for what she could do. She could have created something big, couture, violent, and it would have been so fun to watch. But also imagine if Rosé had been eliminated. No. Imagine if Tina had been eliminated last week and we got Denali this week in this runway. I wonder what she would have done. So let's scoot through this. We get the My Humps lip sync, which I was also gagged because Utica did that whole performance scary.
Okay.
And it was good. It was like Morticia Addams.
I
loved it.
I have feelings about this because a lot of people think Tina was robbed, and I
Ew,
think,
where?
For real.
Did the robbery happen on TV?
A lot of people think that Tina really ate her up, and I think that Utica did the damn thing.
You know who was robbed?
Who?
Rosé last week. Her face got snatched right off.
She was
and somebody ugly was put on there. Yeah.
She was robbed of her beauty and her vitality.
Yeah, and that meme's going to follow her forever.
I for real think that Utica ate this lip sync up because one, it was different than her last lip sync.
Mm-hmm.
It's an unexpected song, and I think she had such a fun interpretation of it, and she just did so good. Like,
yes,
Tina's was cringy to me. She was doing like white dad at his daughter's 16th birthday party at like the 11th hour when like most of the friends are gone, and it's just like him and his buddies. Like, I don't know. The dancing wasn't dancing for me. That was
so specific, and I hate it.
Because, like, okay, just because you know certain dance moves, it's like if you dabbed or, like, I don't know. It's just like, or if you did the thing where it's like, I don't know what it's called, where it's like you do the do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that thing where it's like you, like, pump your fist and you're kicking your foot.
Yeah,
like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I don't know how to describe that move better, but... It's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like doing a TikTok dance during a lip sync where it's like, it's no different than like doing doing the worm and like doing these white dude moves. Like, I am not impressed by that. And I don't want to see that. Put that away. Get that Tina Burner off my screen. I don't want to see that.
Don't want to see that.
I laughed when she got that. I shouldn't say that. That's so.
No, you did. You said it, and you should stick to it.
There are just certain eliminations where as soon as I find out who gets eliminated, I cackle.
Yeah.
And this was one of them. It just happened recently.
I felt that.
When Fierce eliminated Eureka.
Oh my God, please. You laughed, you cackled.
I cackled, even though she was... I didn't realize that she was going to get so upset.
Yeah.
But as soon as I'm talking about another elimination, I had to mute my mic. I didn't want to be too mean because she cried right after. But like, there's some eliminations where as soon as I find out that the person beat them, especially when it's an underdog like that, I just can't help. I have
you just
to
cackle.
I have to laugh.
Lady Gaga, please. So we got to scoot through these last couple episodes fast.
Oh my God.
We're getting to time and I don't want to do a fourth part.
I don't really have a lot of thoughts about the roast, except for...
Heidi, Nina, and Valentina were good polls.
Heidi, Nina, Valentina.
I liked them.
I like Simone's ideas.
Sure.
Like the thank you, Max, like, that's funny. Because I like Hocus Pocus, but like, wrong audience. And she's also one of those people where it's like, you kind of see like the negative side of it, like, well, if she has an idea, she wants to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And 99% of the time it's successful, but you're seeing the 1% of the time where it's like, well, this thing she wants to do is not successful.
Yeah.
And that does happen sometimes, but it's like that's just like kind
You're
of...
seeing the failure in real time and her realizing that it failed and she has no way of auto-correcting.
And I think that happens to any creative. You can be a brilliant creative and you can be brilliant and knock it out of the park 99% of the time, but you have that 1% of the time where it doesn't click.
There could be 99% of the time that you're doing great.
I'm gonna stop you there. This is peak we hate Olivia in the editing.
Yes, because they hated her.
Because Olivia is at her peak playing up this character. And it's like, I feel like anytime she does it, it's like negative sound effect, cut to someone being annoyed. Like, they're really trying to drive it home that like, this is inauthentic and annoying. Yeah. It's such an interesting 180 because she's like your hero at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And then by the end of this, like, you want her to go home so bad, it's crazy. So some people have that in the editing, but she was one of them where she got a total 180 from like,
they loved her
to hate them.
Yeah, and that's so weird because you'd think they would keep that edit consistent through the whole season.
Yeah.
But they really made us feel all kinds of ways. There are two standouts for me in this that just were memorable.
Yeah.
That was, RuPaul, you're such a fashion icon. Can you please stand up? The
flip off.
The flip off, the double
That's
flip
honestly
off.
The funniest joke of the night.
Yes.
Like, honestly... That's the funniest joke.
Everything else was awful. And then Lonnie Love being like, you're the one that's bombing.
Got Mick one, right?
No.
What?
It's Candy for no reason.
She died.
But I didn't think she was funny. You know what I thought was one of the best jokes of the night?
What?
Ru, I am such a fan of you and all your hit song.
That's why I thought Gottmik won.
She should have won.
I was going to say, like, that's the
look
one
was good.
joke from the roast that I remember. Because that joke is so funny. And there were a lot of repeat jokes from season 5's RuPaul roast.
A lot.
Or just, like, old people jokes in general that you've heard from, like, reading challenges and stuff. That was one of the few, like, maybe not original. Maybe someone else heard that. That was one of the few jokes that I had not heard.
Yeah.
That made me really laugh.
And the stand-up.
So funny.
Those were really good.
And the stand-up. Obviously, the she died from Candy is, like, a meme.
Yeah.
But I don't think she was the first to make that joke. But, I mean, whatever.
I feel like they weren't really roasting the nice girls. And I don't know why they were there. Yeah. They focused so much of the edit on everybody else that those jokes must have been awful. Yeah,
all the jokes we're talking about are about RuPaul.
Yeah. I think
barely talked about the miscongenialities.
Yeah.
I don't think they...
Say it.
I don't think that they had material ready for people beyond...
Each other
and the judges they knew were going to be there. Because, I mean, like, they've talked about... Some of these girls will... talk to joke writers or their funny friends and have some material like kind of prepared and ready, so they could have had reads and roasts ready before they even got to the show. And adding 3 random queens that you're not anticipating reading
throws a wrench in there.
Unless you're really good at preparing new material on the spot, you probably had some jokes like formulating in your mind already about RuPaul, about Michelle, about the girls around you because you've been thinking about them, but not about not about hiding in closet because you
love her.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. This could have been a really interesting All-Stars roast.
Yeah.
Where it gets to like maybe top 6, top 7, and Ru comes in the room and says, I've decided to bring back 3 eliminated queens. And then introduces them, the nice girls, and they're going to be the girls you're going to roast. And it's the bait and switch.
Girl,
that could be really fun. Freak them out at first and then do this. So I do, before we move on to the next episode and speed through this horrible next challenge, No Tears Left to Cry was the moment that Simone won for me.
Oh yeah. Well, you can also sing like the other girls' reactions. Like there's a part where she's walking down the runway and she like has her arm out during the chorus, and you see Gottmik like put her arms up, like oh okay, well there she won.
Yeah.
Like it's like all the girls are just like they knew Simone was gonna win the lip sync, and it kind of felt like they knew Simone was gonna win, which is crazy. Is this her first lip sync or her second lip sync?
So she lip sync against Candy.
Oh yeah, this is her second lip sync.
And sent Candy home.
Which usually 2 lip syncs for a winner, not a thing.
No, not really.
I just feel like everyone looked at her in that moment like she was a star.
Yeah,
it wasn't
she
even
commanded
that, like,
the stage.
Was she gonna beat Utica? It's like, let's watch Simone. What's she gonna do?
I don't even know what Utica did in that lip sync. I was just landlocked onto Simone, and there was this moment where like her lip quivers and then she like smiles at the camera and her eyebrow goes up, and I literally in that moment, even though watching it again, I said she won.
She's one of the best face lip syncers. Because that's really a thing, because like that I think it's a lot of people's problem with Georges. She's a body lip syncer but not in the face.
Pop Simone's head onto Georges' body and we've got the perfect lip syncer.
Simone, like her ability
and it's
to
near enough
emote and like tell a story with just like looking at the camera is like really crazy. Near enough.
Nira does face and body.
She's got it all.
Yeah. Anyway, so next episode is a favorite of ours.
I hate this
acting green screen acting challenge. Honey, I Shrunk the Drag Queens.
So bad.
Can I say a thought that I had?
Say it.
I don't really have anything to even say about the actual runway either. And it's Hot Pockets. And I was Hot Pockets. I was kind of disappointed that it didn't go anywhere. So I was thinking about this. Last season in 12, we had Grey's Anatomy, which was kind of culturally relevant. In other seasons. What was the big acting challenge in 11? Remind me.
That was the Black Panther /
Black Panther, yes. And then in 10, we had something Breastworld. We had things that were recent, and since I mentioned that I was watching season 10, I was watching Breastworld and I was like, this show Westworld had just come out. Drag Race was really capitalizing on this.
It would be like if they had done Lost when Lost was a big thing. Like
Yeah, if Drag Race was out in 2003, we would have done a Lost Challenge. So, like, I was thinking about this. In previous seasons, we've really tried to stay culturally relevant.
Yeah.
And starting in 13, something in productions shifted to, we're going to start doing niche things that are no longer culturally relevant, and then get on the queens for now really knowing what they're supposed to be doing, because all the characters were not really characters from Honey, I Shrunk the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and they weren't even characters that you'd see in the workroom. They were like these really big, exaggerated, like old school. Yeah, and this to me felt like a first draft for the improv challenge they did in season 14, where they were all in the workroom. Felt like the first draft for that, but then it also felt like this really big departure, because in the next season, don't we get Daytona Wins, which is like kind of an old school acting challenge too. And I don't think Drag Race has done anything, at least US Drag Race, besides American Horror Story. But even then it was referencing Freak Show and Coven. It wasn't even referencing newer
new
stuff.
Seasons, no.
So like we're starting to see a departure towards old stuff that's out of the current wheelhouse and is not anything culturally relevant. So it's even harder for some of these girls to connect with, because they don't have an anchor to it anymore.
That's so true. That's very true. And it also gives more opportunities for RuPaul to be like, you don't know this.
Yeah, you don't know my reference. You young kids don't know anything.
And okay.
Get off my lawn.
So I don't want to say much, but I'll say I love Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. This is a great movie.
Great movie.
It's fun. I love the sequels, Honey, I Blew Up the Baby, all those. Mm-hmm. This challenge sucks.
It sucked.
It's 5 characters who have nothing to do with the movie. Like you said, it's 5 archetypes in a green screen situation where they're tiny. It's so weird. It's so bad. I don't like it.
There's no plot.
A lot of it made me uncomfy. A lot of it's cringe. Yeah.
The best part was Michelle coming in and stealing stuff.
I don't even remember that. The only thing I really remember from this episode is Gottmik's Hercules pocket look. The sundial seller.
Yeah.
I think the watch look was hilarious.
Yeah, it was really funny. But otherwise, this was a pretty disappointing runway. I wish that this had been maybe something earlier in this season.
And for it to be the penultimate episode, like the semifinal, I think it really contributes to the sluggishness and the rough pacing and lack of excitement for the season, because like this is an episode for the finale and it was such a dud and it leaves like such a bad taste in your mouth. Like it's kind of hard to.
Snatch Game forward. The car immediately is like.
Isn't that what happens for 10 too? Does Cracker go home right before the finale, or is
Cracker
there another
goes
episode?
Home in top 5 during the Evil Twins.
Is there a top 4?
Yes.
Top 4.
Mm-hmm. Eureka, Cameron, Aquaria, Asia.
But they all 4 do America, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it is the same thing, because that episode is shitty.
It's horrible.
The episode that Cracker goes home on.
It's terrible.
And we hate 10. So I think that is a problem of like, you're getting to like this, like you're watching like a gross episode and then it's like, oh, it's over.
Yeah.
Like the next episode is the finale.
We're almost done.
I feel like that does kind of dampen your view of the season. Okay, interesting.
It doesn't make me feel excited to keep watching.
Because yeah, like if you say, okay, if you put it on paper, 1, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids acting challenge. 2, a Pockets runway. 3, a Cher lip sync.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a good episode.
Sure.
I think, this sounds fun. This sounds like campy and silly. I'm down. In reality,
they're all nonsense quitter.
It's pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
Well,
it is.
Anyways.
It's like a bowl of pasta that you drop on the ground. As delicious as it used to look, you just don't want it anymore.
Now it's just room temp spaghetti on the floor.
Right, and you don't want that. So then the finale, which there's no elimination, so it's not totally worth talking about, but they performed to a song called Lucky, which I've never heard in my life.
You had never heard Lucky?
I've never heard Lucky until this moment.
Wait, I actually live for Lucky.
The beat was nice.
L-U-C-K-Y, honey.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Pussy on fire.
Yes, I didn't understand why they were all in lingerie.
Okay, It is weird, right? I like the color coding a lot.
Rose and pink.
Rose
Groundbreaking.
pink.
I loved Simone in orange. She just commands the camera, and the way that she started sitting and then looking and then slowly gets up, like, bitch, she took me on a journey. She took me there.
Yeah.
Mick's corset was very, like, wish coded. What the heck was that blue corset? I know Mick has better corsets than that.
Mick's look wasn't my favorite, but I loved her verse.
Oh, yeah.
Mick's verse
nice.
is great. Candy's verse is... I mean, everyone's verse is good, actually.
Yeah.
Honestly, Rosé's is probably my least favorite just because, like, I think the theatrical singing honestly kind of took out... Because I really like that it's a super theatrical, like, old school kind of vibe, but all the other girls did a really contemporary verse.
Yeah.
Because, like, Gottmik and Candy were really, like, rapping. And then Simone did kind of like a breakdown, which was really fun and kind of like a nice
tempo
juxtaposition.
shift.
Yeah. But then Rosé did, like, this super, like, theater approach, which I didn't love.
Yeah,
That's
I didn't
my only
like it either.
But I like the other three girls. I really like their verses. Even though Simone's, like, barely said anything, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's just like, I mean, it's like her Champion verse. She barely said anything in Champion, but it's just great delivery, super charismatic, super memorable, good little, like, brainworm.
I agree.
Simone's that girl.
Do we have anything we want to talk about in regards to the multiple looks that we had during the finale? Because we had a ball.
Can I go back one little part and
Yeah.
just say, like, one of the most also underwhelming finale runways.
Absolutely. Simone looked
Like,
incredible and everyone else was...
Yeah, well, I guess, like, not like grand finale, but like on the main stage finale, like, what's that called? Final episode, whatever. Your best drag look.
Well,
like,
don't forget, Candy already used her best drag.
Whatever, like... Honestly, all of these are kind of flawed because, like, Gottmik's is cute, like the Dalmatian, like, spot, whatever, but also it's kind of basic for her.
It's a really basic
And,
print.
like, Rosé's is pretty, but it's just, like, whatever.
Boxy.
And, like, Simone's is gorgeous, but, like, I don't know. They're all just so, like, low-key for a finale. But
These
then,
more
like...
look like entrance looks.
But then we actually get to the finale, and the looks are crazy.
There is a ball, which is crazy for a finale, but I don't hate that idea.
Oh, Zoom reunion, by the way. Zoomunion.
Zoomunion, I skipped
bad.
it.
Yeah, I don't like it. Anyways,
First category is black and white, and, like... Whoa.
yeah, okay, so whenever I see Rosé's, I just think about the pit stop where they're like, that looks amazing, but that's a man. Like, look at that makeup is terrible. They're just, like, baggy on how bad her mug was.
It's such a cool look, though.
This is RuPaul's spending wars. Who's got the money to buy the best look?
Favorite of that category.
Gottmik
Gottmik.
Cenobite.
Yes.
The Cenobite is crazy.
It's so cool.
I love that she's bringing something a little more horror and edge to Drag Race.
And I love that there's the collar at the neck, and there's the white that goes all the way down to the wrists.
Yeah.
It keeps the illusion of the white to flesh more cohesive
With
for
the
me.
puzzle cube purse. And also, we don't usually talk about the red carpet looks, but I've never seen this. Gottmik's red carpet look is also cute as fuck.
Really cute.
She does a Pennywise look. And it's not even, like, really that Pennywise, but it's a sculpted orange wig with this weird, like, kind of quilted dress moment.
I'm obsessed.
But anyways, yeah, black and white favorite is absolutely Gottmik.
Then we have red all
but also,
over.
I really liked Simone's. The bandanas.
Oh, yeah.
Those were so
There
fun.
oh my god, that's probably one of her best looks of
Yeah.
all time.
The red. Yes, the red's iconic. Okay, again, my girl Gottmik. She did that Keith Haring, and it won my heart over. So I gotta give big points to her. I gotta give big points to Candy for doing so bad.
I wasn't even going to talk about how awful that was.
Candy and Rosé also both kind of flopped TBQH.
They flopped the ball.
But, oh my god, am I obsessed with Simone's. Simone's is everything, and it was like peak when that was a thing.
Yeah, the hands
together,
the period.
It's so good. Like the hair, the hands, the nails on the toenails.
Simone never drops the ball.
Well, and also what I loved about Simone's is it very much felt like a floor show. It was giving me that Dragula floor show feel. Like this look too, where it's like, it's so presentational. It's so like,
the hands in the hair
so
too.
Statement. It's so well, and all of her looks were such statements too. Like she's really like driving home what her drag is, and it's so good.
And for the last look at your drag, that's what it should do.
Yeah, for real.
And then our very final category is Grand Finale Eleganza, and it goes to Mick again for me. I mean, look lives in my brain.
Her like.
It's Resident
tiny
Evil
walking in it. It's because it's so huge. It's literally like it's like final boss. Like
she looks a little bit like Evil Jill from Resident Evil.
Oh my god!
You know that when Jill has that like red spider thing on her.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up so that you've got a reference point. Because what is that? Resident Evil 6, I think, is what that one is.
I'm so bad at remembering the numbers. After 4, I don't remember any of them.
Resident Evil 5. Oh, here it is. She's got this like red spider thing on her.
Evil Iron Man.
Yeah.
She's giving me final villain where like her magic is like all the way powered up.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
It's really so incredible.
Good. It like kind of eats up most of what follows it, but
I think maybe the only one who kept up was Simone.
The other two are unfortunately left in the dust. I think that
they didn't have a chance.
I think that Rosé had a good effort with some of the looks, but I just don't think the full package is there.
No.
Like I don't think that the looks are also selling me Rosé's drag. Like Gottmik and Simone are driving home like what kind of drag they're about, what kind of looks they're about, what kind of like everything they're about at like the grandest scale. Well, like Gottmik especially is giving me like in Digimon, like when you think they've digivolved the last time, but then they're fighting that boss and suddenly they're able to digivolve one more time.
I haven't even seen my final form.
Yeah, and they're like the super like final Digimon that they're only going to do like once in the whole show. Like that's what their like finale look is giving me. A la Violet Chachki's season 8 finale when she comes back. I very much feel like it's on like a similar wavelength as Roaches, but also Simone's is incredible. I love the Medusa look. I love the gold arm. It's such
very
a cold
RuPaul's season 4, that promo.
The Glamazon. Oh, the Glamazon.
Oh, can I say something potentially hateful?
Tell me.
I don't know what Rosé's drag is at this point. We have reached episode 15, I think, and I don't know what her drag is.
It's what she pays the designer for,
I suppose. But like we've had all this time, and all I know is nothing but a color.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have any reference points. I don't have any years. I don't have any fashion choices. It's bulky, big fabric, and I don't think you want your drag to be described as bulky.
Well, and you haven't watched the season yet, but when you get to UK 3, it's why Ella Vidae doesn't win either.
Because her drag is a little
She's a theater queen, similarly to Rosé. And it's kind of a similar pipeline of like, doesn't make it in theater and becomes like a successful drag queen.
She's Nigella Jan.
She's for real the Rosé of UK. Not the Jan. She's the Rosé.
Oh, she's the variant.
She's the Rosé of UK.
Damn. Because Rosé's like a split off variant of Jan.
Yeah.
She's
but
not
I feel like
exactly.
Ella and Rosé, their presentation, at least how they're presented to the audience and why I think they don't win is very similar of like, it doesn't feel like their drag is really central to them and what they're presenting us. Like there are other facets of them that are more like central to their character, but their looks and their drag, their physical drag and the glam and all that is not like center to their character. And because of that, their character is not central to their drag.
Totally makes sense.
That's my feeling.
It's a tough place to be as a celebrity drag queen.
Because like Rosé, all three of her looks are giving like, I paid someone to make this and it's impressive, but
and I
like,
wore them.
Anyone could wear it.
Yeah,
not anyone could wear it, but like.
But you could put anybody in that.
Yes, it's not like,
and
oh, this is so Rosé.
Right. Where I feel like Simone's looks, you'd put that on someone else and be like, this looks like it belongs to someone else.
And like Rosé wouldn't. I couldn't see her coming out in that red Keith Haring jumpsuit.
That was very mixed.
Even though she's from New York, like I don't know. It's just like there's something about it that's just so edgy and so like, I don't know. It's not there for me.
Just say you don't have it, Rosé. Just say you don't have it.
The reason I gasped earlier is I remembered that stupid Friends thing they had to lip sync to where they were out of drag, like watching themselves, and they were on the stage. We're not going to talk about it.
I skipped it.
We're not going to talk about it.
So we have a full themed finale lip sync SmackDown. I love this. Doing Britney, because we had the Whitney a couple years ago.
Whitney, now Britney.
Yeah, I love this. I do this every year. Have a full theme. And we had the Gaga one in 11. 12 didn't have a lip sync SmackDown, so we didn't get one. I don't remember. Was it all Cher for 14?
14 was... Oh.
No, they didn't do a lip sync SmackDown, did they? Rue picked her two favorites.
Who won 14?
14 was Willow.
Oh, yeah. They all did numbers. And then they lip synced to Gimme, Gimme, Gimme.
Yeah. And then I don't think 15 did have a SmackDown, but it was all random songs, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or was that a Rue picked her favorite again?
Oh, shoot. No, they did not. No, now they do a number.
Right. And then Rue picks her favorite.
It's like how 8 was. Except
I kind of like that.
It's like 8 plus a lip sync for the crown.
I always feel weird about lip sync for the crown. I feel like sometimes people can slip through that maybe didn't deserve it. But that's a different conversation for a different day. We have Work Bitch for Candy and Rosé together. I love Candy and a dark lip.
Yeah.
I thought she looked really pretty. The part that I thought was funniest was, do you want to look hot in a bikini? And then she pulls open her bodysuit to reveal a bodysuit.
Not a bikini. You want to look hot in a bikini? Not this one. This isn't a bikini, but I mean, it was funny, but also like, I feel like Rosé was doomed. I knew Rosé was going to lose like either way. We already saw her lose a Britney Spears lip sync at the start of the season against Denali.
You know Denali was quaking somewhere like, I would have done this so much justice.
Work Bitch was also a reuse. Kahana and Mercadis.
It was a really underwhelming lip sync. I did not like any of it.
That's the thing is like a Britney SmackDown sounds amazing on paper, but these were not the 4 for the challenge.
And then they both looked lost.
Because like okay, Candy's like, I would say the best lip syncer of those 4, and she's not even that great of a lip syncer.
No, they're both wandering around the stage, and it's, to me, it's like when you go in the Pop-Tart aisle, but then you remember you needed eggs. And so then you leave, and then you remember that you were supposed to go back and get Pop-Tarts, and you have like full ADHD moments, and you're wandering around the grocery store like, what did I come in here for? It's
walking into
lemonade.
A room like, why did I come in here?
Yes. They're just meandering aimlessly.
Bitch. Yeah.
They're not working. They're getting lost, bitch.
Clock out, bitch. I'm lost, bitch.
Go ahead and clock out for me, baby, bitch.
Now go away, bitch.
Now get the hell out of here, bitch. Candy wins.
Yes.
And then we have Gimme More. What a great song. Demi Moore. Great song.
Moore.
I thought this was going to be kind of unbalanced, but Mick really held her own.
Really held their own.
Yeah.
The split was hot. They were trying their best, but I think Simone, again, the charisma, the face card, when they do at the end of the song, when it's the little like, give me more ad lib part that Britney does, and she's like looking at the camera doing it.
Yeah.
It's just so good. And also, she has a reveal.
She has a really nice and unexpected reveal. The peplums turn into a skirt cape.
Oh, yeah.
It was really cool. It was very unexpected. To me, controversial opinion, I thought it was neck and neck. I thought it could have gone either way, and there could have been really good reason for either one of them. The moment that Mick lost was in the last 3 seconds. She was on the ground, and she does this weird thing where she like crawls backwards, but it's really clunky and bad, and she like gets up kind of bad. That was the moment she lost.
So my opinion, because the Sorry, when I clarify, when I was talking about the ad-lib thing, I was talking about Simone. But Gottmik did eat this. I think that she just is awkward in certain movements. I think she's not dancerly, so she doesn't always move from things in a pretty, like, dancerly, non-clunky way.
She doesn't recover well from them.
Yeah. Whereas, like, Simone's very smooth. And I liked that she kind of had, like, a duality with her performance, because she had the first look, which was a little more masculine, and she's performing with that. And then she switches into the super sexy femme look.
Yeah.
And then that's when she's kind of being slutty, and she's kind of being, like, seductive.
Yeah.
And it very much, like, works for her style. Yeah, I think it was tight, but I think Simone was, like, very much doing her at her best, like, her best style of performing. And being able to channel her style in the performance, which I think also gave her an edge.
I agree. The very final song is Till the World Ends, which was such a great song.
There's such a wealth of amazing... We haven't gone Hold It Against Me yet, have we?
I don't believe we have.
Jesus
or Lucky.
Christ.
Could you imagine Lucky?
Oh
that
my
would
God.
It would have to be with the Perfect Queens, because that could be such an emotional song if they did it.
It's a great song. I love the remix of this song with Kesha and Nicki Minaj. I think about it a lot. But no, great song. Mid lip sync.
Really mid. And I'm also super tired of big jackets into slinky things. I hate them.
Big jackets into slinky things, yeah.
Like, weird. What's under there? I bet it's a reveal.
How do you feel about Simone's reveal?
Okay. I thought this was going to be really interesting. Yeah. I thought that it was going to be really fun. And then she pulls out. Oh, no. Candy pulls. Oh, wait. Hold on, because the reveal hasn't happened yet. Candy pulls out her flag, right? And just sort of shakes it everywhere, but isn't doing anything with it. Just sort of like around. Shaking it. But it's a Puerto Rican flag, isn't it?
It is.
But you can't tell that it's a Puerto Rican flag because she's just shaking it. And then she comes walking down the runway, and then Simone pulls a lever. And then
pull the lever,
four
crunk.
Wispy tinsel pieces of hair come plopping out. No fanfare, no spinning, no anything.
I wanted some like Gertie giggles. That thing was gonna start.
I wanted them to spin, and I wonder if it was on a motor and it was supposed to, and it didn't.
Could you imagine?
And then her hair's just spinning like a helicopter, and she's like those little Barbie toys that used to spin.
I think it's cool because I mean, obviously, like. Hair is just another facet of like all of the like conversation of Black culture that I think Simone has integrated into her drag and her package. I think that a hair reveal for Simone makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
However, it just was kind of underwhelming.
4 pieces of hair, 4 strings,
4 little Betty Spaghetti rockets
of hair that just come plopping out for no reason off of wire hangers.
Well, it's giving those toy gun. Is it?
It's like a streamer.
I'm having like this. I can't picture what the toy is. I think it's a toy gun where it has like a bullet, but it's wooden, and you.
Oh, like the cork one?
Yes. What is that?
I know what you're talking about.
Like, I'm kind of picturing that. Where it's like a little like cork bullet, and it's like on a string, so it goes pew, but it's on the string so it doesn't like go away, so you can reload it. It's giving that.
Yes. It was clunky, and it didn't really seem necessary.
Yeah, I think she could have done something a little cooler, but I mean, if it was exciting for her, then I'm happy for her. It was enough to win.
I wish it had spun. I wish it was
helicopter.
Moving. Yeah, it really felt like...
She takes the crown and scepter and then helicopters away like Gertie giggles.
Gertie, and flies off.
Living your Emily Osment Spy Kids 2 fantasy, honey.
What a throwback name. Gertie Giggles and Gary Giggles.
Gary Giggles.
So... Simone wins the whole thing. And like I said, I think it was the No Tears Left to Cry that really made me go, she won. Because I think until that point, I thought it could have been Candy because Rose really seemed to like her.
Yeah.
Seemed like it could have been Rosé because she was doing really good. But that moment, Simone won. And it was just, I was waiting to see what she was going to do.
Yeah.
Because for me, she had it on lock already.
Period.
It was just like, what more will you do to continue to keep your momentum up? Because unless you go out wearing Rosé's clothing, you're gonna win.
Drag her.
Sorry.
I think the finale was really a race between her and Gottmik.
Yeah.
And I think Got Mick had really great momentum in the second half. They did great in the roast. They did good in the acting challenge, I guess. They were doing good, but they had such strong looks.
So many.
And, like, they were the only person this season that came... I mean, Utica too, but, like, in terms of impact, I think they were the only person that came close to Simone's.
Yes.
In terms of, like, impact and, like, story and, like, how it correlated to their drag.
Right.
Like, I don't know. They were really the two best at it. I think they were the two really fighting each other going into the finale, like, for the crown. So it was exciting that they were also lip syncing against each other. And I think that made their lip sync more exciting because it was like, oh, these are the two bitches I think could win.
Yeah.
And they both really went for it. So, yeah. But Simone, she did the damn thing.
She absolutely did.
And I'm like, she's one of those people where it's like, I can't picture her losing.
Literally, no. I can't think of who could have won that. Even though Candy was up there, I don't see Candy winning.
I can't see Candy beating Simone. That's the thing.
I could see Candy beating Rosé.
Yes, but I can't see her beating Simone. I can't see Got Mick beating Simone now.
No.
I
can see Candy beating Mick.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. Is just like Simone just has something about her where it's like, damn, you are that girl.
You are a star. It radiates off of her. Yeah. There's not a lot of girls on Drag Race that just radiate that. Like Raja's one that I think of.
Oh,
Jinx is someone I think of.
Raja, Jinx. Absolutely.
They're like Bob. These are people that just radiate stardom. There's something you want to catch from them. A lot of the other winners are like, you're really cool and you're kind of odd. You've got that thing that I like about an entertainer. But there's just some people who have starlight falling off of them, and Simone's one of those girls.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we wrap, any controversial opinions about the season besides the fact that a lot of the challenges sucked? Because that's not controversial. That's well known.
Yeah. What do I think?
My controversial opinion, they should have eliminated in week 2 and 3.
Oh.
Phenomenon and what was the other song? I already forgot. You're a Winner, Baby?
You're a Winner. No.
Hold on. Congratulations. Those should have been elimination episodes.
That would have been fun because it's all together and it's like, we've already eliminated one. Because that's like how it was for 6. And then maybe bring it back for a different challenge in the future to add more stakes. But yeah, I think... I mean, I don't have any unpopular opinions. I just think they shouldn't have done it how they did it. The split, the winners and losers, it just casts such a shadow on the season.
And then the challenges are awful.
Yeah. And it's hard because I love a lot of people from this season.
This cast is great.
It's a great cast. And it's a similar problem to 11. Great
10?
cast. Well, yeah. Well, I feel this for 11 because I like those women. Great cast, but like shitty challenges, shitty editing, shitty storylines.
Sure.
Focusing on the wrong stuff. Like, it just was exhausting.
Yeah.
It was more of a chore to watch than a joy.
Yes. Fully agree. 10 was like that too.
Yes.
10 sucked to watch.
It was.
But, you know, it is a joy. UK 2.
Oh my god!
I already started watching the walk-ins like a couple of days ago just because I was excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this cast, and then seeing Sister walk in again, and I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot about this bitch.
Sister, more like copy.
And then Jenny with her little jellies. I'm so excited to talk about this season. And then I believe after that we get to talk about Down Under.
I'm excited for the stretch because it's that, and I think
España 1, and then we get All Stars 6.
Wow.
There's some really good scenes. Like, we got over the bad hump.
The movies are back.
We're over the bad hump. We're in some really good seasons that are coming up.
All the upcoming seasons I'm very jazzed to talk about.
Yeah. I think Down Under might be your like least favorite to talk about, only because all the scandals.
I think it'll be fun because you haven't seen it, so it'll be fun discussing your thoughts on something fresh to you. Yeah,
I'm so excited. But any final thoughts about season 13?
Just what I said. Great girls, beautiful girls, but
great gals.
Shitty challenges. I think that this is also I think it's honestly a turning point. because they hit the slay button from this point onwards. Because if you think about 14, you're talking about how bad the musical was this season. Think about next season, we get Moulin Rouge.
So good.
And then like,
Wigaloos.
the acting challenge this season versus next season, we get Daytona Wins.
Right. So we get the lip sync SmackDown next season.
I really think that they changed writers or something.
Someone.
Because the musicals definitely got different writers.
Didn't Leland take over?
Yeah.
That's probably
like,
why.
They really, like, after this season, I think they really hit the slay button. And, like, the quality really improves after this season.
Definitely.
Not saying this season's low quality, but it just feels like 14 onwards have so much more care in them.
This season sort of felt like a bunch of leftover ideas from other seasons that didn't make the chopping block.
Yeah.
And they were like, we have to get a season of Drag Race out right now. That quarantine was lifted for us to produce. Let's freaking do it. Doesn't matter what it is. We got to do it.
Yeah.
And it feels like a disservice to a lot of these girls.
Yeah. Although 14 is also kind of messy on it because no one going
the chocolate bar
for like forever. Yeah. But I still feel like it's a stronger season. I think that like 13 onwards, every season has kind of been increasing in quality in my opinion. Because I loved 15 and 16.
Yeah.
Like 13 was meh. Well, okay, 12 was great.
Yeah.
And then 13 felt like a step back.
Totally.
And then like 14 was kind of like getting our footing again. And then 15 and 16 were so good. They were on that caliber that and magic that 12 was. So
I know we're not there yet, but like for 14, I love that cast so much. I could have watched a non-elimination of that whole season.
Group. Well, it basically is. So
I mean, I could have every single week watched that same group in every one of those challenges. So I wasn't even mad. People did not like how long it was, but it wasn't any longer than 13 was.
Yeah. I think it was just how
it was structured.
It was like, distributing the non-elimination.
Sure.
It's still a great season. I'm excited to talk to it.
Talk to it. We're calling it on the phone.
Hi, season 14. How are you?
That's on the Patreon.
Hi.
Subscribe for the secret conversation to see season 14.
Yeah, it's on the Just for Fans.
Yeah. But next week we'll be talking about UK2.
Ooh la la. I can't wait.
So excited.
It's going to be a hoot.
Oh, it's going to be so good. Thank you all for tuning in. We will catch you soon. Remember, you're doing a great job. You're doing the best you can, and that is all you can do. Goodbye.
Bye.